Hi.
All right. So here we go. Second game session, still on the road to the town. So let's see if we can do better this time. So as for Ebunstalt, as mentioned last time, the party ran into some complications and each other, and then decided to pick up a nice little escort mission to help some townspeople, only losing one person in the process. And at which point they are headed back following the dead oak tree that fell, past a little stream, and back onto the main road, deciding that they have 2 days to proceed to the town and not sure of the potential threats. And the wagon's obviously kaput and the horse is gone or dead. As they make themselves back to the road, they stand before the dead bodies, partly burnt wagons, and what's left of the unstolen and damaged supplies. At this time, the party will mingle among themselves and probably decide that they may need to make use of what is available, as it is a long walk and some of them may not have appropriate rations or means to go all the way, not to mention they could use a little bit of extra protection. So as you guys pretty much break up and start looking through the two wagons, one tumped on its side and was on fire, the other one riddled with arrows and kind of at a slant, you happen to find one or two small crates that were cracked open, a couple leftover little flasks laid in there, some torches that rolled around the back, a couple of items that you can pick off some of the dead bodies, an extra outfit, and a torn backpack, a bedroll laying off to the side, crowbar, a belt pouch, and a couple of other little knickknacks off the item list. At which point you guys are able to, as a group, pretty much gather up these supplies. Whether you wish to take them or discard them is entirely up to you, and you are free to discuss.
So Seven's gonna go over to the small marked crate that's closed.
I guess it would help if I didn't have myself muted.
Oh, why is the aura red now?
Huh?
What was that?
Door's red.
It's red.
Oh my, that's my aura. I figured out how to change the color of my aura.
I'll put it back to...
Oh, is
I
red
guess-
DPS or something?
Yeah, red is gonna be for damage boosting. For melee only though.
Oh,
I
okay.
count as melee.
Only when you make a melee attack, though.
We have small crates.
Yes.
I can.
Most of these belong to my boss.
Anything good inside of it?
It's his.
Mine now.
Yeah, I
Be
mean-
theft.
They belong to someone, so I don't think we should take them.
Looking at the small crate, you do notice markings on the top of it related to similar markings on what you can make out on one of the wagons that isn't burnt. And as Joan basically references, it is property of her merchant employer and probably supplies that he intended to sell or to deliver to town. Apparently this one was not stolen and was accidentally left behind, possibly.
Looks like payment to me.
Payment will
So,
be decided by him at the end.
can
Or,
I,
since you're currently hired by someone else, you should look to him for payment.
can I go behind one of these things where no one can see me, and I want to search underneath one of the wheels?
Yeah, that's kind of what
Definitely.
I'm gonna be helping Elon with that. Elon, Al. I'm helping Al.
He kind of hefts his axe and looks at the crate and goes, "Still want to see what's inside."
It is not yours.
So at this point, Seven,
It's not
the
yours
crazy
either.
walked over to.
No,
He's
but I
gonna
am
start
bound
trying
to
to pry it
protect
open with
it
his
and
paws.
this stuff.
But there are some useless things in there, like those sticks and rope and stuff.
Oh, actual equipment is not an issue. Bedroll, crowbar, daggers, arrows. If it helps us survive and gets us to town, I have no issues. Stuff that's valuable and actually his. The crate, some of the other stuff, those are his.
And where is he? Left you to die.
No.
Sounds to me like it's no longer his. Rule of
I
the
still have a
wilds.
job to
What
do.
is left is dead.
But this is not the wild.
Looks pretty wild to me. Where would you be had we not come along? Dead with
Where
the
would I
rest.
Quite possibly. Probably. And
So
if
again,
that is my job,
you keep what you
then I
kill.
would. But you did not kill all of them.
He hefts his axe a little higher and he kind of looks at the crate and goes, I don't see you stopping me.
So at
All
this
I can
time, you
do
see
is-
basically Richard and the dwarf basically going around to the front of the wagon and looking at some of the dead bodies and seeing if there's anything that they can recover of use. The two spellcaster elves just pretty much stand guard as lookouts while the party continues to discuss and explore the wreckage.
Could I take forceful action? Yes. But at this point, I cannot fight all of you myself. So I can simply tell you what is going on, make my recommendations. If you choose to completely ignore me and take violent actions, or possibly, how should we put this, unlawful and illegal actions, that's your choice.
Unlawful by who?
It's called theft.
There is no theft in the woods.
But we're not in the woods, we're on the road.
Would you like me to leave your people dead in the wilds? Because that's where they would be, had we not stepped in.
If you had not stepped in, I would have simply have gone after him anyway. If it had been costing me
And
my life,
you would be dead in the wilds.
then that may very well be so.
You have a very strict code, don't you?
In some ways, yes. In some ways, no. In this way, I gave my word I would protect, defend, and escort.
You did so well.
Only temporarily, it seems.
True, but did you not give the same? Did you not do the same for this man? As she gestured towards Richard.
I did no such thing.
I did not know what was going on. I just fought those things because they pissed me off.
Oh, then
And I have an issue with orcs in my woods.
then I suggest you keep hunting because that was only part of the band that attacked us. There are
And how do
other
I know
orcs
what's
and
in this
goblins.
crate won't be useful to me in doing so?
Perhaps it will, perhaps it won't.
We'll never know if I don't open it.
Exactly. But if you open it and take it, I will still have to report this. At which point it could be very well considered theft.
He kind of digs his axe into the side and pops the crate open.
Very well, I will do what is necessary for me.
This crate is basically small enough to where you can hold it in one hand. It's a small little wooden crate, but it is nailed shut. But obviously with your strength and the use of your axe, you're able to easily pop out the small nails and open the top of it with ease.
And inside?
Inside underneath the markings and the wooden top, which wasn't too well secured, unfortunately, or fortunately, depending on how you look at it, you see a lot of little small vials.
Vials?
Inside, there is about
don't know about
40 of them.
Are they marked?
They are not marked. They just seem to have little cork stoppers and seem to be lead-lined vials with some kind of silvery liquid inside.
Magic of some kind.
So are you going to take it or are you going to leave it?
I'm sure the druid circle will know what it is. He stuffs it in his pouch.
So theft it is. Very well.
Michael, on that search check, did we find anything?
I was going to jump over once I got done talking.
Oh, sorry.
So, no worries. So, meanwhile, as conversations going on, items are being discussed. On the other side of the wagon, as you guys are looking things over, looking at the dead bodies, one or two goblins, an unfortunate maybe bodyguard or mercenary, poorly equipped, laying down on the ground in the burnt wagon. You do happen to see 2 daggers setting off to the side, and then you see what looks to be a potential mage, maybe a sorcerer, and he has a belt pouch, which seems to have a couple little flasks basically bulging out of it.
Do.
And we're by ourselves right at this point, right?
You're on the other side of the burnt wagon, so ideally anyone of the party who's pretty much staying at the back, who's about 5'2" or taller, could basically catch the glimpses of your head before you duck down to actually examine the body or pick something up, so they can see where you were. They're not sure what you're doing, and they're talking too loudly to pretty much pay attention if they even cared, which they probably don't.
Okay, I take it.
That on the flasks.
So you guys pretty much get the 2 daggers, the 4 acid flask, and the belt
Yeah.
Yep.
Those are mine.
So I will move those off the list as taken.
So this just occurred to me. Can a dog do sleight of hand?
I assume no.
Slide of
No.
paw.
Light of paw, maybe.
Slide
Slide
of
of
paw, possibly.
Sleight of mouth.
What are you gonna do? Swallow it?
How would that work?
I was
Mouth
thinking she's
long
looking
enough.
at the rations,
Hold it
probably.
in the mouth, supposedly. Depends on the size of the object. I mean, usually sleight of hand is nothing larger than a coin. So it'd have to be something pretty dang small for you to pocket it.
But even then, how does she? How does a dog pocket something?
Swoops it up in
Hold
its
it in
mouth
the
and just
mouth.
holds it.
Well, maybe to the shaggy dog, you don't see what they pocket.
Aside from the 4 acid flasks, you'll also notice that one of the flasks is slightly different, and it is marked as an antitoxin. So on top of the 2 daggers, you got the belt pouch, the 4 acid flasks, and the antitoxins that you guys find off the 2 dead mercenaries.
I let Lydia hold on to them. I mean, Jezebel.
I'll be right back. 30 seconds, guys.
Wow, thank you, Al. I'll take good care of these.
So,
I can't carry him around. Be even more underweight.
Artisan opened the crate. She's gonna waddle around and start examining the rest of the wagon in order to try to find stuff.
I look at the dog.
Her
I look.
his tail's just like wagging, and he's like looking at the dead bodies.
I suddenly walk up to Seven cautiously.
He freezes in his tracks and raises his hackles as he turns around and looks to see who is walking up to him.
I go into my stash and I take out one of my ration. It's some sort of jerky, some sort of meat jerky. I lay it down on the ground, staring at Seven, and then back away.
He's gonna eat it.
Good boy, I said, and I just go back to the orc and Joan.
He took the stuff. I'm just gonna leave him. I'm gonna search the area, see if there's any of Boss's stuff of value
see, in my-
left.
He just thinks he's in the dog, but he thinks he's just hungry, so I just gave him the food. Like, oh, he is hungry. Good boy.
That point, 7 just goes back to searching, pissed off.
7 will come across a bag which was in the back of the burnt wagon but got thrown free of it during it tipping over and catching fire. Inside the bag, which is a small sack, you will find 3 water skins, 11 trail rations, the flint and steel, the torches, the crowbar.
Sticking his head inside of the bag to see the items, and then he's gonna try to pick the bag up in his mouth and carry it around like a trophy.
Totally doable. Not that heavy, so yeah, you can get the bulky little sack in your mouth and walk around with it as the torches are kind of sticking out.
It's a dog. What do you expect?
Dog found something.
And dog is keeping the something it found.
Da-na-na-na.
This isn't Link to the Past.
Michael, do I need to make a search check to look for some of the more valuable stuff that the boss may have left behind to collect for him?
You can attempt to do so. You know, most of his valuables were in his personal cart. When the one broke down, he went ahead and proceeded on to town, trying to make a delivery. Apparently, one of the items got shifted into this cart and has been taken by the half-orc White Wolf.
I'm back.
Welcome back.
As for anything else, you know, pretty much the cook and a couple of mercenaries hung out, so they may have something that is useful tool or combat-wise. As for anything valuable, aside from them having it, there may be a minor storage, but nothing that, aside from that small crate, should be of value to your employer.
Then I'll check those warriors, see what they've got.
Checking a dead body, you will find a guy who has a healing kit and a bedroll. The healing kit has 3 uses left inside its container.
Definitely take the healing kit.
Oh. She's just going to examine the area around the bodies more.
Check the other guy, see if there's anything.
As you poke around, Liz, you said you're checking one of their bodies?
Mm-hmm.
Poke around the bodies, and you happen to find what looks to be a small cache of weapons. Oh, wait, that's just his traveling equipment. You happen to find one of the warriors, or maybe just a peasant who tried to protect himself, who has a club at his side and a quarterstaff in his lifeless hand. What's slightly interesting is the fact that he also seems to have an extra change of clothes, better than what he's wearing, especially considering the bloodstains, is a traveler's outfit. And then also up one of his sleeves, you happen to notice sticking out slightly 2 tinder twigs.
Tender twigs?
They're basically like matches.
Um,
They're little chemical goods. You can strike them and they can use be light stuff. So you get your hands on that. Is anyone else poking around?
Yeah, I'm still gonna keep searching.
Not really. I'm just setting guard and keeping an eye on everyone.
yeah.
At least those I can see. Mostly the orc, Joan, and the dog. Don't know where the elves went.
They're just pretty much standing one at one end, about 10 feet away from the wagons. The other one at the back of the wagons, about 10 feet back. So you pretty much got them on both ends of the road. Just keeping an eye out. So you can see one of them. The other one can't see due to both the wagons being in the way. Considering you know the wagon a little bit better than most, as you've been riding around in one of them, you go over to there where the cook was, and you know that's also where they kept all the storage of goods. It's at that point you find a large, slightly burnt and torn old, sort of rolled up blanket that's no longer of use, but inside of it is a small cache of weapons, which you're able to pull out and unroll. Inside this, the cook's specialty satchel. He had
Specialty satchel.
30 arrows with a short bow, a hand axe, 6 javelins, 7 sling bolts, a masterwork sling.
Okay. Take the sling bullets, bow, arrows. I'll set the javelins outside in case anyone's interested. Equip the sling and the sling bullets. And I'll let the others know that I found some javelins along with a bow and arrows.
I ain't no elf.
Not taking the hand axe or any of that other. Okay.
I'll set the hand axe outside as well.
Okay. So that leaves the 6 javelins, the club, the quarterstaff, the short bow, and the 30 arrows all available.
Yeah.
Hey, we could sell these.
I'm putting the arrows with the bow. If they don't take the bow and arrows, I'll take them. Longer range gives me a ranged weapon of longer range.
Feel free to take them.
And then, Lydia, as you're making your way around, you do happen to run across one last unfortunate adventurer, which seems to be rather kind of hodgepodgely dressed with sort of a flamboyant, now bloodstained cloak, rather pointed boots of green coloring, a vest that is brown, red pants, rather pointed hat of grayish color. But underneath all this assorted different colored outfits and everything, you happen to know what he is wearing, which happens to be a still intact and decently crafted studded leather armor, a masterwork buckler that he seemed to be using, and then on his person, tucked inside of his vest, you happen to see two rolled up pieces of parchment, and then he has what he looks like was clutching a couple of little vials and a stick.
And there we find the hidden badass.
Now, with that thing, do I know what it is?
The stud leather armor, no problem. Masterwork buckler, no problem. Two pieces of parchment, if you pull them out from his vest, look at them, looks like scribblings on them. These do appear to be magical in nature, considering that you are a spellcaster yourself. The potions are surprisingly labeled in common, no less, as potions of magical healing. The stick, on the other hand, some people may overlook it as just a little pointing stick or like he was trying to scratch his name, but you recognize it as more. That could potentially be a magical wand. As for what it does, that's your best guess.
I take the wand.
Okey-doke.
I go 30 feet away from all the carts and everything.
I don't think this is wise.
Alright, let's see what you got, Harry.
Technically, we don't know what she's doing.
I got a stick, yo.
Let me know if I need to make a roll, Michael.
If she frags the party.
Yeah,
I
let
make
us
sure
know.
to point it away from the party.
Shig, for your character standing there, you happen to be standing near some knocked over cloth which used to belong to the top of one of the covered wagons. As you go to step, something like rolls underneath your feet that you almost slip on.
I go on and pick up the roll. What is this?
As you reach down and pick it up, you notice two of them, and they appear to be candles, slightly gold blocks of, oh, they kind of smell kind of scented. Apparently you found three scented candles.
Hmm.
Man, if you had asthma,
At which point he has an asthma attack and kills over right there.
Thud!
Oh my god.
He starts sneezing up a storm and dies.
Huh.
Gas.
That was not what I expected.
Anyway, he just looks at them like, huh, interesting. Oh, I'll just keep it on me for now.
Asthmatic adventurer, that's hilarious.
always casting air bubble on themselves.
If I could keep it long enough, I'll just give them to my lord. He'll like them.
28 on use magic device.
That is a good roll. And
We all die.
At which point there is a nice fireworks show as you basically hold that out, and it acts much like a flamethrower as a big gout of fire comes shooting up from it and pretty much 10 feet into the air. As you've discovered, you have a wand of burning hands with one less charge now.
Does it make noise?
Sound that a fire would.
Whoosh of fire.
So just
Whoosh.
basically a sudden whoosh, and then it stops.
And into the belt pouch it goes. I could have. I didn't have to even bother rolling that. No, I probably should have at least. I still have that spell on my list, so haha.
Now you just got more uses per day.
Yeah.
Alrighty. And what about the potions and scrolls that you found? Pocketing those or leaving them on that?
I'll
dead
pocket one
badass?
potion and then place them on like the side of one of the carts. It's just like, I found some items over here. If you want them, come get them. But the scrolls, I'm gonna spellcraft them.
You'll actually have to use Read Magic, a spell, to actually figure out what they do. As each spellcaster usually has their own little secret language they scribe their gibberish into for the spells. So that will require a little bit of research, unfortunately.
Poop. It's stupid how they don't even get that on their spell list. But
Well, do you have that one ability yet where you can identify an item by holding it?
looking it up right now.
I think that just it functions like detect magic. I don't think it functions as identify. I can check because it's the artificer one, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because I actually have the book right here. Nope, 31. Artificer knowledge can determine if it has magic properties. Does not reveal the details of the item. They do not get a free identify though.
Nope, that's gonna be a little bit of a no-no then.
Not when I was getting worse. Okay. Wait. Hey, Al.
Yes.
Can you read magic?
Nope.
Never mind.
Joan walks over, picks up one of the potions, says, "I can, but not today."
You only can do it once per day?
No, I don't have
Spellcraft
that
does
spell
allow it,
set.
my apologies. You're allowed one try per day, though.
Mm.
DC 20 plus the spell level, so you actually could do it if you want to spend some time.
I mean, would knowledge arcana work on it? I don't think it would.
No, it would let you know that they are magical scrolls, not just gibberish on a piece of parchment. But it would actually take spellcraft to actually determine it. That you
Well,
can use it to get the check.
I don't even see. Oh, there it is. Oh, I have spellcraft,
So do I.
but you already used your one.
Think so.
I actually do have spellcraft. I didn't know I did.
You've used use magic device to activate the wand and figure out what it does without it blowing up in your face. But you have not identified a spell yet off a scroll.
That would just be a 10, so I know shit.
I can try to help.
Look at the two bookworms.
I got 21.
There's a secret third, thank you very much.
There's a fourth. There's multiple of us that can use magic that can do spellcraft. And just
Magic's
like I say, I
overrated.
can try to determine what is written on it, but I can do read magic tomorrow.
Magic's overrated. Just kidding.
You wouldn't have had that tale if it wasn't for magic.
Magic is like a skill. Use it right, and it can save your life.
Which one are you going to do with the parchments? Eeny, meeny, miny, mo?
I'll do the first one.
One has wavy lines, one has curvy lines.
Ooh,
Decisions.
Wave your lines.
Alright. You have no luck with the wavy lines. It looks like wavy lines to you. As for the warlock, you do make the check potentially. Which one are you trying to decipher?
I'll go with the squiggly lines.
Alright. You go with the squiggly, and you have deciphered what this scroll is. It appears to be a divine scroll of cure light wounds capable of healing, although you'd have to be able to use magic or be a divine spellcaster to utilize the scroll, though.
Oh, you can keep it.
Can you take a look at this one?
Am I allowed to do another one, or is it like a once per day type thing?
Once per day.
Here's the next question. Did he tell anybody what that scroll does?
I don't think so.
I would have let that up to Jezebel to say. It is her scroll. She found it.
But
He
you
tells
would
the
tell
other
her what you
bookworm.
discovered?
I would have told Jezebel.
Okay.
Mhm.
I was just checking to see if you even told her what it was. Otherwise, she doesn't know what it is either.
I'm like, I'm right next to her right now, like going over the scroll with her and whatnot.
It's just like, fascinating. This is such and such. And do you pocket it or hand it back to her?
I would have handed it back. She found it.
What a gentleman. You help her out and give her back the item.
I'm not an a-hole yet.
Yet? Is that one of those
Good
ones you get a
start.
few drinks into you turn into one?
Don't know yet.
It's everybody.
All right, so that done. The only thing left to be found is a lovely brown clay mug, which the dog has basically found and kind of chewing on.
which one?
42, probably.
42. As he's done licking out of it, now he's just kind of like chewing on the edges of it as he's sitting down.
Someone's gonna put down that sack, growl at 42 until he puts it down, and then put that fucking mug in the sack and then start fighting the sack and holding it in.
So stop, think about getting up and running off with it, and then just sort of back down from you, drop it, and step away.
There would be a slight tail wag to say good boy, but that's about it.
Alright, so at which point that is done, there are 5 potions left for various party members to collect.
I took one.
I'm gonna go ahead and grab one as well.
I'll take one.
And then, of course, there's the pile of goods. The javelin, hand axe, club, quarterstaff, short bow, arrows, studded leather armor. If the 2 party members want to mention about the dead badass with his buckler.
I'll toss the buckler, but I'm keeping the one.
So you're going to keep the armor?
I don't need the armor. I'm all right.
Ah.
I'll take the buckler. Unless somebody else actually here uses a shield.
Alright. That will leave, it sounds like 2 potions left over. You guys are done, I suppose. Richard, after sort of looking over the situation and discussing matters with the dwarf, will come walk you back to you guys as you are done chit-chatting. Look you guys over and go, well, me and Chuck here have done talking things over, and seeing as we have all these individuals we need to look after, it's probably best that if you're done gathering anything that may help you stay alive and feed these folks, we'd probably best be on our way. After all, we're not sure how much more danger there might be. You're all more than welcome to join me. As I promised, I'd be happy to foot the bill once we get to town to get you in the door, plus maybe a little compensation for your work. Joan, I know that you were traveling with another. Pretty familiar with him, so I'll be happy to have you join us. That way, you're not on your own traveling there. Sorry for your loss.
She gives him a slight bow of respect. I appreciate the offer and I will accept and take you up on that.
Excellent.
Oh, and we have some other weapons here that looks like nobody is of interest in, so if you or any of the others are interested, please feel free to partake. I'm not that good with a bow myself.
Dwarf will just look things over, just shake his head. The two elves will just basically just sort of give it a little nod in appreciation, but not take anything. At which point the party shall head out.
Well, if they're not taking it, I'll take the bow and arrows.
Okie dokie.
May not be good with them, but at least I can use them.
Done and done.
And one javelin.
One javelin. Alrighty. Okay, it has been marked off. What is done is done. What is left behind cannot be picked up later.
Oh, and Michael, burying the bodies. Said we were doing that, or at least I said I was.
Didn't you do that last session?
Well, I said I was doing it, and then we switched straight to looting it, but yes, Joan was going to bury them.
I mean, if they're dead, they have no use for it anymore, so...
You will do what you can to find some makeshift tools and
You
start
said there was a pick
digging.
and a hoe, so I was going to use those.
Start digging some holes. You will have to bury 6 people.
Yep, I'm aware.
This may take all day.
We could just leave them for the animals.
Or you could help.
You could cremate them.
Hey, don't look at me. I ain't going to waste any of these charges.
Stop.
Hey, Seven,
Cremation is doable.
are you hungry?
Burial is better, but I'm more worried about what the smell of burning flesh and such might draw. There's no point in drawing more attention to ourselves than...
How many bodies are there?
6
Seven.
bodies.
So it would be respectful and more beneficial to bury them.
I have a better, faster, easier idea.
If you're thinking of eating them, no.
No, I won't eat them. Seven might. He's kind of bloodthirsty.
I've noticed.
He kind of piles the bodies up real easy, hefts his axe, spreads the arms out, and just hacks.
Will you not be able to eat everything?
I'm not going to eat them. I'm going to put them where the animals can eat them. The circle of life must be continued.
Point some of the people that you rescued are watching confusion. Then once they realize what he's doing, they just kind of get sickly looks on their face and just turn and back up. Richard also is a little bit disgusted and just turns his head. The dwarf just sort of stands there, just staring at it.
It's like,
Takuma
you
just pretty much
really have
Was
no
willing to
respect
pick up the
for...
pickaxe and help you dig a hole, and they just sort of stops.
Takuma just unfazed by it, like, huh? Where I come from, we just burn the dead once we're done fighting.
What's dead must be returned to the land. This way,
Well,
it
they
returns
become-
quicker.
You have
I
no
can see that.
respect for the dead in this way.
This respects all, dead and the living. And he hacks off the other arms. Whole set of 6, just whop! Like a meat cleaver, just...
Jezebel, if I ever die, don't let him do that to me.
Off come one set of legs,
Just
and the last set of
digging holes,
legs.
Michael.
And he just backs away before
Hey,
he
it gets
mistakes
better.
us.
So here's what he does next. Each head individually severed, and then put into the hole.
Hmm.
There's your burial. And then he starts chucking limbs into the woods.
Resourceful, aren't you?
They will be eaten. Foxes, wolves, bears, all will eat them.
Michael, I'm digging a hole big enough for all the parts.
Dig a hole.
The dwarf is helping you, although it's going to take a little while.
That's fair.
You pretty much get one hole mostly done, and he's well over taking care of all the limbs, set all 6 heads aside for you to pretty much bury, and already chunked all the body parts into the forest. So now you have to dig 5.5 holes and then go collect the body parts.
Yep, I'm aware of this.
So now it's a scavenger hunt.
Oh, and the last arm he sets down in front of Seven like a meal.
So,
If I see that, I'm gonna go pick up that arm.
Seven's actually gonna pick it up in his mouth, and he's just gonna bolt off into the forest because he's gonna go and put it somewhere, so that way a bird or something can find it.
You basically start climbing out of that hole that you're digging, and then off goes the dog into the forest with the arm in hand and mouth.
Stops, looks at the dog, looks at Orkazik, shakes her head, just goes back to digging.
He then settles down cross-legged in front of a tree and just leans back. Very, very meditative and just closes his eyes and relaxes and waits. Lazily pets 47.
47?
46, whatever the dog's name is.
42.
42, that one.
I was gonna say, when did you get another one?
Oh god!
I missed this!
It's not on my character sheet, so I can't remember its number. It's not on my character sheet. It's on hers.
Roll call.
She's the one that has the pack of dogs. I'm just the orc that follows the pack of dogs.
Oh my god, the picture's so 7 right now.
There we go. I'll flash its name up there so you can actually see it.
There you go.
Make sure you pin it.
Every once in a while, he reaches out and lazily pets 42.
The health bar.
Meanwhile, Jez would be taking out her journal and jotting stuff down. Because basically, in her eyes, it's like, we have found tree people. The tree person is with 2 dogs, a human with tail, and a very, very strict human who I view as probably none.
It's always a nun.
Which point the people that you saved kind of join the dwarf and Joan in digging a hole as they pretty much break off like a piece of wood from the wagon or grab a quarterstaff or one of the javelins and use it to try to stir up the dirt to help.
Joan will hand them the actual tools and she'll use the improvised. Once they come over and start assisting, she hands them the real ones and she uses the improvised.
Or Kazik kind of shifts into his wolf form and trots off into the woods.
And then she'll mark that down in her journal as well. Tree person is shapeshifter.
So I assume time will pass by as no one's going to interrupt the activities, as everybody else is going to just do their own thing, stand by watch, assist, go hunting, or otherwise jot down the activities of the other party members.
She's a spy.
No, I am a person that would like to learn.
She's a spy.
Learn what? Learn what exactly?
She's a spy.
Everything. I didn't take any feats and I didn't take any skills for roguing, so I am no spy.
You don't have to take skills. You don't have to take levels of rogue to be a spy.
Wait a minute, trying to learn everything, master of knowledge. Oh, hi, Vex.
Oh, Vex!
I'm thinking Bard.
Yeah, more Bard. Vex actually had class levels in Rogue.
In fact, he was all class levels in Rogue. He was straight Rogue.
I thought it was
He
going
was
to be
straight?
Stara.
He was straight Rogue. There was no prestige on him.
Alrighty. Well,
Once we get the halls, I go start collecting body parts, Michael.
so time will pass. The sun will start to set. It'll get darker.
Orkazik is feasting on a torso when they find him. Most notably, a heart.
7 would have been like eating with him at that point.
You're
AFK quickly.
disgusting.
AFK a few minutes.
As soon as you say that, he reaches down, rips the liver out, and offers it up to you.
You are absolutely disgusting and insulting.
And then swallows the liver. Shrugs.
Move
And goes
off,
back
let
to
me
eating.
bury him. You've had your fun.
He gives you a look like, I'm eating, go away.
You think I'm kidding? What you've been doing in front of me and the others is 1, disrespectful, 2, insulting, 3, we're trying to work with these people, or at least I am. And your actions give them little reason to trust you. Work with them, maybe they'll be more willing to work with you. Otherwise, in battle, they may not help you. If you get in a tight spot, they may very well leave you to die.
He keeps eating liver, lifts his leg, and piddles in your general direction.
Oh.
As if to say, why do I care if a bunch of humans like me or not?
I turn around and I walk back, Michael. He's made his
Fair
choice.
enough. Leave him to the forest.
No, more like I'm going to inform a couple of the others that he ate the person.
Not the whole person, just the torso. At this
Yeah,
point,
because that was the last piece she was missing.
a
It's
heart,
like,
a
well,
liver, a couple of lungs,
I found the last one.
pulled the
Except the
intestines out,
half-orc's
left them
eating it.
aside.
Dwarf's like, okay, let's go get. Wait, what?
Yeah, he's eating it.
It's not just him, the dog's eating it too.
And he
Like
thinks it's
this.
perfectly fine to just simply eat them. Eat,
Well,
essentially,
Like-
people.
Like he's just squatting there, took his axe, cleaved off a piece of meat, and eaten the person.
No, he literally turned into the wolf form, is literally just eating it.
Are we sure it's not a wolf that turns into a person?
The way it acts, I would think the wolf is the actual person. And the half-orc is just its form to communicate with people, although apparently it cares nothing for people.
Yeah. We can get in a moment. Maybe we should gather firewood and everything and get set up.
We can
Break
use the
down
pieces
one of the
wagon.
wagons.
We've got
Yeah.
a broke wagon, let's just salvage the pieces off it. No point in going into the woods and
I'm back.
having to deal with a people-eating wolf.
well, there's also the fact that certain circles in 0-3 act a certain way.
Yeah, maybe, but I've never heard of a druid circle that thinks it's fine to eat people.
The screen's black.
Yeah,
He's doing his
I made it as such.
Do we get any light? Oh, there we go.
Would I not have made a fire? Oh.
Now we can see stuff.
No dynamic lighting today?
Michael doesn't have that.
Oh.
That was me.
Yeah, I don't.
I don't know where my character is.
Probably off the board a little bit, which
I'm lost in the dark.
Oh no, you're lost.
She's
Don't worry, I'll
lost in the
catch my
dark.
shoes on fire instead, then we can see. joking.
Honey,
This isn't. We're not burning Nike apparel here.
Oh,
Someone doesn't like Nike, apparently.
I don't like Nike, no.
Well, a lot of people don't like Nike after they hired Colin Kaepernick. I
No,
think they're just big idiots because they're burning shoes they already bought.
No, for me, I don't like Nike when their customer service rep straight up admits, "Oh yeah, no, we designed our shoes to fall apart in 6 weeks to 6 months."
Sounds about right.
Dude, I have shoes from Nike that have lasted 2.5 years right now
Yeah,
without any holes in them. I also had to spend a pretty penny to get those.
yeah. Their normal shoes, they freely admit they're designed to wear out
Oh yeah,
in a very short amount of time. Oh, and by the way, that was 14 years ago. They were designed to do that. As far as I know, they never changed it.
There we go.
There's more people on the board.
I don't know, shoes I have now literally have lasted forever. But like I said, I had to spend a lot of money on them.
Of course, I also have a set of boots that are 30 years old.
Yeah, that's the thing. Things that were 30 years old lasted forever. Why can't that happen again?
Money.
Three sons of
It's a little
bitches,
bit
that's
larger.
why.
Oh, there's light! I can see!
Jazz will take a step back
Let there be light.
Shut up,
and kind of watch everybody.
stupid blind man.
Not as in like a sadistic thing, but she trusts Al the most. But the human is interesting. But Joan is,
Too serious?
yeah. You ain't know what a human hottie is, do you?
Well, here's the thing. She only looks human. Parts of her don't. Her general appearance is human, but some of it's not right.
So the first 20 feet is going to be bright light. Anything beyond that, even though it's lit, would be dim light. So thus you have issues with poor sight. And then anything beyond that is just pure darkness.
If you cannot see in the dark, you are screwed.
I can see in the dark.
Good for you.
I was gonna say, people with dark vision would
You're
be
off
fine,
playing
right?
in the woods, eating people.
Dark vision can see a lot farther, yes. Which I may, since we don't really have dynamic light, I may end up switching it over to just throwing a grid around the campfires of 20 and 40 foot, as that may be easier, and leaving the whole screen lit so people can actually see for those with dark vision. Otherwise, I'm going to be doing a whole lot of other crazy stuff, which may make this a lot freaking harder. So that may be a little bit easier. Okay, we'll try it like this and see where that gets us. This may be an easier alternative. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. 5, 10, 15, 20. Sorry. If you'll bear with me shortly, I'll have the box
Okay.
in the right place.
I'll be right back.
5, 10.
Well, it might take me a minute or two, but yes.
I think I know what my character is going to do next.
15.
It depends on if the orc comes back or not.
Which point those are two bright lights in the campfire. I'll just remove the whole darkness of the
How
map.
far out am I from the campfires, Michael?
That is a fair question.
I can't imagine I'm that far.
Nah. I can't imagine you'd go that far from camp. So I would say pretty much if the road is about 60 foot wide and there's brush basically leading into the forest, that you're no more than,
Road's a huge road.
yes, leads to a
60
main city.
foot?
Yep.
Jesus.
It is a major road.
I don't think even highways are 60 feet wide, Michael.
Well, there's a lot more than just wagons that go up and down these roads.
Elephants, dragoons, wyverns, griffins.
What?
I'm just listing shit that I think would take up 60 feet.
Okay. I was like, what are you talking about?
I'm back, and I have no idea what the heck y'all are talking about. Random
This.
things.
Hi, welcome to D&D.
No, hi, welcome to Dealing with Lydia.
Oh.
Am I wrong?
She has plans.
If they're anything like what happened on Monday, I'm not sure I want to know.
No.
Just in case,
Get
has it-
lucky.
Just in case, has it been a day since I used my curse or no?
No. You're pretty much just
Not
coming to
even.
nighttime for the first day after traveling down the road and bumping into these lovely people and getting involved with all their problems. So you still got to make it through the night and get some sleep if you want to hope to get back your cursing and other people their spells. Yeah, should have probably gone with this option first. A lot easier. Oh well. If I ever do need Fog of War, I've got it enabled now. Alright, so you are about 80, 90 feet from the camp as you were inquiring, Kazu. And pretty much done with your meal, just cleaning yourself or whatever else you need to do. As
A
they
couple of loud snaps come out of the woods. And then I come trotting up about couple minutes later carrying what looks like a rack of ribs.
What kind of ribs?
Not gonna ask.
That would be the smart answer.
He kind of lays down near the edge of the light, just inside the edge of the light. Rula can see him, and he starts just kind of gnawing on the ribs.
I understand that everyone would probably wind up trying to stop her, but she'll kind of walk up to him. So, mind me asking, why did you eat the humanoid?
He kind of looks at you and looks at his ribs, looks at you and looks at the ribs. He goes back to gnawing on the ribs.
At this point, I'm gonna eat one of my trail rations.
Yep, gonna eat the normal food.
Yeah, I eat the normal food while watching him
I'm gonna.
and everyone else.
Joan's gonna start talking to basically some of the travelers in the group as well. Do any of y'all know any fun or interesting songs? I'm not originally from this exact region, so I don't know any fun songs from around here.
Jezebel might know some songs.
Wait, what?
I unfortunately do not sing, but if you can sing, be my guest.
Yeah, Jezebel might know some songs.
I ain't no bard.
Neither am I.
Neither am I.
Alright.
One doesn't have to be a bard to enjoy singing.
Well, the thing is, I tend to do private occasions, but usually when I'm intoxicated, that's...
Well, I do not have any ale or alcohol, otherwise I would share it. So, singing sober.
Yay.
And a rib crunches under his jawbone.
Give me a moment. Let me take a look at my notes.
Rip goes a chunk of meat.
He is so disgusting over there.
Crack goes another rib.
And I will need listen rolls from the party. As
What
you are
rolls?
not alone.
Let's enroll.
Stupid druid. He brought them over. He brought them to us.
I hear absolutely, positively nothing.
I hear nothing. I'm just paying attention to the wolf and everyone else.
I'm flipping through my.
Nope.
I'm focusing on paperwork.
The only one who pretty much got it is 7, as over here is basically off the distance shuffling of brush more than once.
At that point, he's gonna look over the Orkazik. He's going to stand straight up with his tail curled up over his back, and he's just gonna lowly growl towards the direction of the sound.
And just like that,
Off in this direction.
Kazik kind of stands up, cracks his neck, looks in the direction.
You don't see anything out there, just road and woodland off to the side. But apparently something has bothered 7.
It's enough to get me worried.
Meanwhile, most of your traveling compatriots have pretty much taken up their rest. The elves are pretty much just on guard. Chuck over there in the corner, dwarf, is just relaxing, sharpening his blade. Richard's just documenting a few things off his ledger. And the 3 unfortunate souls that are with you are just trying to stay warm by the fire.
I'm not finding the songs I was looking for, so
So, since the since it was coming from this direction, he's going to move himself to be right here, out of sight, and try to stay low. If I have to make a move silently, then I'll make a move silently.
You can go ahead and make one.
At the same time that he's doing that, Kazik would do much the same, only without as much proficiency. He's got a good dex check. He can do it.
All right.
And he wanders off in this direction.
Well, just as you're getting ready to wander off in that direction, that's when you happen to catch sight of something.
Okay, well, I won't move then.
You're basically getting up, you're getting ready to move silently, you're taking a few steps, and you happen to catch a glimpse of something out over this way, coming into view in your dark vision.
What do I see with my orc eyes?
you only see half of it because you only have half orcs' eyes.
You see something small and armed. The grayish outlines and black and white basically show what you have pretty much already seen before and killed. It appears to be a goblin, at which point several more tend to come into view of your vision.
I stalk a little ways down, keeping low to the ground.
At which point they happen to take note of you, and it will be initiative.
Rolling.
Holy crap!
Oh, God.
The cleric actually got high niche.
I rolled a nat 20.
Yeah, but guess what? Nobody but me and 7 know they're there.
I know.
Well,
Yep.
So,
I think at this point, my character should be paying close attention to everything that's around her vicinity in general.
I mean, all you'd see is 7 and Kazik walk off into the dark.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you going to follow 2 wolves into
that?
Are you going to follow 2 wolves into the dark? I don't think so.
That would be fun. And the baddies have a whopping 11.
Like we are outside the light of the fire at this point. You're
Yeah,
human, aren't you?
That is bright light. It goes another 20 feet as dim light, which would be pretty much looking at shadows. So at most, 15, 20 would only get you there. So they basically just catch you standing in darkness as they make out your shadow.
Just barely.
Yeah, barely. It's not exactly.
If they were standing here, they'd see my shadow.
Well, here's the first fire, and going forward 40 feet would pretty much put them you're at the edge of dim light. So you're basically staying in pitch darkness, and they barely get a glimpse of a shadow. Which, if they're staying right at the camp, I'd require a spot check. But they pretty much saw you walk that direction, so you pretty much sort of fade from view. So you are pretty much gone to them. So that is where it is. I'm assuming no one else has dark vision to my knowledge, so we are going to go with Anish, as I will straighten up the order to descending. And that will put it first at Joan, as you are having a lovely camp setting, discussing songs and other matters, and the dog gets up, the orc gets up, and they start to walk off.
And I really don't care about them.
And I'm in wolf form, so it doesn't really matter.
Yeah, exactly. Them being them, I really don't care.
Gonna go take a piss. All good. Back to Lori.
Yeah. For Joan, all she's going to do is she'd remembered a song, so she was just going to start singing.
Excellent.
So I will roll accordingly.
Please do.
Masterwork instrument, no. That's an 11.
You've done better, but it's not horrible, and the words are right, so it is.
It's just a simple song.
Yeah. Simplicity. So next up, we will have our resident dark caster.
I'm not playing a
So,
board, so I don't keep a list of songs.
Warlocks / Grails don't have dark vision.
It's not about your class, it's about your race.
Mm-hmm.
Grails
What
don't
race
have
are-
dark vision.
What race are you?
Grey elf.
No. They would have low light
low
vision.
light.
Have low light, which will pretty much double your range. So that means
It's still too far away. Then.
everybody else, that means for you, 20 feet became 40 feet, so you can see that far with your vision off the first campfire, and then you can see an additional 40 feet, 20 feet for dark vision. So basically, you can, off the corner of the second campfire, pretty much catch a small shadow head toward you, and the wolf basically creeping in shadows toward the small figure. Small and shadowy, but it's definitely not a halfling. That looks like possibly a goblin headed your
Well,
direction.
since I heard the dog bark in that direction, I'm gonna head right there.
All right. I assume
When
you're set
did the
down,
dog
so you
bark?
probably stand up and
Dog
What
did
dog?
not bark.
No
The
dog
dog
bark.
only growled.
Like,
It's,
in his ear type of shit.
so I'm only moving to there,
okay, stand up and move in that
Just-
direction to get a better look.
seeing what's going on.
Okay, so you stand up
And I
out of
don't see
curiosity.
anything, of course.
With vision from there, 5, 10, 15, 20, 30, 30, 40, you will catch 2 of said figures. As you basically see these 2 goblins off to the side. Yeah, there's 2 goblins, and there's 2, well, wolf and a dog headed that direction. At which point, it will be Seven's turn. I assume you have dark vision?
He does not.
Then you pretty much are going to be a little more limited in sight in regards to this then. Considering edge hits the fire, that's bright light that you just left, so you are in dim light, which means it only goes to that far. That means that creature is in complete darkness, so you don't even know it's there. This is as far as you can see as dim light. So you know of no goblins, but you did hear noise coming from that direction, and the white wolf is headed in that direction as if it sees something, but you see nothing.
Okay, so Seven's going to move.
Don't you have low light vision though?
Let me check.
I don't think changelings get anything of the sort.
Yeah, I don't know
think
what
they
she
do either.
gets.
And
I'm
it's
not
your
gonna lie,
13.
I don't know what she gets.
Nothing. Okay, so
Human.
considering that goblin is like
Unseen. Basically, jump scare waiting to happen on you.
No, they
Once you start, so here's the problem though. Once you start leaving the low light, you can't move more than 5 feet without a penalty.
Your movement drops down to 5 feet, basically. Anything beyond that, you gotta make like balance checks, and you may be tripping or falling over your own feet or run into something.
at that point he wouldn't have gone there. He would have just literally stayed still in the dim light, cause I don't know, he would have found the lake right there.
I mean,
Are you
can
still
find in
barking?
the low light. It's just
She
that
never was barking.
a low
He
growl.
growled
in the ear.
into like his ear.
Mhm.
Unless you were making a listen check from where the person was singing next to you, you wouldn't have heard it. She growled in Orkazik's ear, and then
I heard
stood
something
erect.
Okay,
Yeah.
so then I might not have went here then.
You, with your vision, could basically catch a shadowy figure of that goblin out there. So, if the fact of the
If it's a vision
wolf
check,
and the
then
dog
yes.
move that direction, and a goblin coming toward the camp interests you, then yes, you get up. Otherwise,
Yeah.
if you aren't paying attention to what they're doing, you'll turn around, and look at the goblin, and pay no mind. Then you may just be sitting at the camp, just ignoring everything till it gets worse. That's
That
entirely
would-
your
okay.
call of how
The
distracted
dog
you are.
never barked.
That would have been fine.
But as for anyone who's in the low light area, pretty much where you are right now, Seven, that's a difficulty of combat, but it's not impossible to fight. You just have chances of missing your opponent.
And he's basically just gonna sit here because he can't see anything.
Not a problem. That will go ahead and spin it on around, and we will have the White Wolf next.
Wait.
And we're gonna go.
Yes, indeedy.
Did we just? Okay.
For literally the lowest possible damage he could have done on a bite. But I know it'll hit him.
Yeah, that is a hit. You have a 19-year-old, and you get a +1, a +7, and a +2 to hit.
19 on the roll. Plus, let me pull up my sheet.
Your stat should only be like a +5 unless you're raged, right?
I have a +4 to strength while I'm in my wolf form.
Which that'd be 20, so 24, so 7, yeah.
Yeah. And then my base attack bonus is a +1. So it's +1 plus the 7.
Okay, I just wasn't sure about that +2 hanging out there.
I don't know what that
Yeah.
+2 is at all. Because there's no +2 on my sheet anywhere.
It says +2 for flanking out there.
I don't know where that would be.
Although it's
on
not
my...
actually being applied to the bonus, so no worries. We'll just ignore it.
Yeah, so...
So all good hits. Still getting used to the little dice settings. So, and that poor little goblin goes squish. As you snap your jaws down on its throat and doesn't even let out a whimper as it is dead. Over to next, we have Orc's turns.
They know where you are now.
They still didn't breach the darkness.
The orcs will move up.
Attack the
And-
darkness? What?
They will launch an attack upon Seven as they pull out javelins as they're moving and hurl it in the puppy's way. Ooh.
Not
Any
the
of
pupper.
those hit.
Ooh, I like that
I don't
one.
think any of those hit.
Oh, I think that's a
Oh.
critical miss.
That's a critical miss, yeah. 100 fucking
Yeah.
percent.
Well, I'm gonna need a crit fail card because Mr. Orc in the back missed horribly. So the first one comes awfully close to 7, at which point he jumps back and dodges another one, which was a little bit at where he was previously standing, and then the last one's just way off in left field.
All right, so the critical fail card is
Orc!
aim carefully next time.
Oh no!
For
Oh
3
no!
rounds, you must spend a full round action to make a single attack.
Oh.
Sucks to be him for the next 3 rounds.
No shit.
No shit.
Like, no, I got it next time. I got it next time. I just have to really focus.
Aim carefully. Okay.
Fire!
I can't fire yet. Can't do it. Oh yes, get in my range. Let me eat you. Gonna have dinner
I thought you already
again. You think he's not gonna traipse into camp, ragdolling one of these fucking things right into Jones' lap? You are wrong.
So rude.
Like a trophy, just here you go, boss. I brought you a present.
Picks it up, throws it on top of the wolf. There you go. I'm giving you a present.
You wanted to bury things, bury that.
It's like
You're in wolf form, you
burying
can't
the
talk.
boat.
All right, goblins will take a swing at the wolf first. Oh,
Missing. Oh shit, no, that 20 would hit me in this form.
I was gonna say, holy shit, dude.
Yeah.
No, that would hit me in this form.
At least it wasn't a crit.
That's the good news. At 1 point higher, it would have been a critical threat.
The 14 misses, however.
yes, indeedly doodly.
Because in this form, I've got a 17 to hit.
Although I would have missed you in the other form by a point anyway.
Yeah,
But-
no, in the other form, it would have actually hit me harder. In the form, I lose the +4 to natural armor.
But you do get the 2 from armor, so you go to 15 instead of 17.
17, yeah. I'm more armored in wolf form.
Oh, yeah. And that will be a whopping 2 points of damage as it scrapes you with its mace.
Maybe I'll actually get to rage this time.
And the other goblin will come out of the darkness and attack at 7. And miss.
I don't think we can even see that from where we're at, though.
Nope. Nope.
Get away from my
Not
friend.
unless you have low light vision.
Yeah,
20
no.
foot, so you'll actually catch glimpse of the first goblin at the edge of the darkness as basically the goblin comes out and attacks the dog in dim light. So that will become a startling sight to everyone.
If they're paying attention. Their backs are probably turned to this. They're sitting their backs are, if you're sitting like you would sit around a campfire, their backs are to this side of the campfire.
And I freely stated I wasn't paying attention to the wolf
Yeah.
and the dog.
With the way
So,
they're sitting,
for me,
with
I
the way they're
probably
sitting,
wouldn't.
Michael, Joan should logically be facing this direction,
Oh yeah,
and Jezebel should logically be facing this direction.
pretty much they're going to get no
Now,
turn this turn.
Takamu, he's facing the right direction, and the other three would logically be facing, at least with a cone, in this direction.
Well, there.
But
Yeah, that's. I was gonna say, but if she noticed that Al kind of left to get a closer look at something, she's going to do.
well, and I'm saying this retroactively. Al's back was also to the dogs. He was standing here beside you, which means he would have been facing the fire as well, logically.
Yeah, but logic and D&D don't always mix very well.
I understand that. I'm just saying.
First turn they're going to be distracted. Next round they're going to overhear combat and screaming goblins and other stuff, and possibly the warlock hurling some energy bolts. So that will allow them to make a listen check and then turn around. Not to mention the people may prompt them to, hey, something's
Oh
going
yeah,
on.
that's
over
why I
there."
pointed out. There's people that are looking in the right direction.
So
If
anybody
if
can make the spot
Takamu,
check.
if some of the party members or NPCs call stuff out, that's fine. If not, it's going to be down to listen checks as the camp slowly ends up getting stormed shortly.
I'd have
And that will bring it over to
I gladly said I'd go
tail-wagging
back.
Hallie.
Yeah, I did at least. While I was looking at them, I did notice the dogs run off a little bit. I don't know where they went off to.
And
But
with
just in
the light, you can basically see 7 and a shadow of something small next to it.
Small being relative, because it seems because it's
I just
Dog's
get up there. I'm gonna
medium-sized.
check. I just get up there. I'm gonna check something out. I'll be right back. And just walks forward up to 42, and
So you'll stand
that's
up
all.
and then walk over,
And that's all I can do really.
Shig, is that your damage bonus or your damage reduction?
But- Red is damage bonus. If she hits, she's gonna get one. She's gonna deal one extra damage.
to melee attacks.
I know that you have like 3 that you can bounce between,
Yeah.
don't you?
Yeah, three.
You have,
Red
a,
is
you have a bonus, you have a damage reduction, and you have a heal, don't you?
yes. Favorite color. Hang on, I'll put it. So let me see here.
Skipping 42's turn. If you'd like to control him.
I don't exactly know what 42 has. Does he have any type of vision?
Dog might have low light.
don't think they
Low
actually do.
light, so can see just fine. To
Nice.
see the goblin and fight.
Oh, really?
Okay, so he's
It has low
gonna...
light and scent.
He's actually gonna start barking his fucking head off.
Well,
Yeah, because
that's-
you can see 7 getting attacked.
I was gonna say, if he's guard dog, that's part of definitely what they do.
And then, because of that, as soon as he starts barking, he's gonna come over and then fight that dude.
Okay, if he moves exactly like that, he's going to draw an attack of op by moving past it. If he moves into a square next to you, not
Oh,
as much, but it is an
whoopsies.
animal, so it's not super bright. But I don't think it'd be that stupid, hopefully.
I don't think it'd be that stupid either. At least 7 would be like, no, bad.
And
What do we have to roll again?
you do get to roll for the dog. It has a +2 to hit.
That's not going to do it.
Bad dog.
No.
No, that's going to be a chomp and miss.
Although at this
No.
point, all the rest of us do hear the barking and see the dog dash.
So that's top of the order. Dog did make an extra, so that will prompt you guys at the beginning of your turn. So you are allowed to make a listen or spot check, depending on if you're going to bother looking at the dog. As you know, it's probably just chasing after its masters, which you have no interest in. Or if you're actually going to turn your head and actually look and make the spot check.
I'll look around,
So you'll turn
Just
your
to
head a little bit to see.
figure out
Can I
it's
make
like, what is the dog barking at.
Yeah, I'm gonna do.
It doesn't
I'm gonna
bark
make
at
a
its own, so what is it barking at?
You did also hear the samurai say that he's going to go look at something right back.
Yeah,
So,
2 plus 2
Uh-huh.
can equal trouble.
I'm gonna make a spot check.
4.
not
I
your
know that
turn.
answer.
Oh, okay.
So
That
Michael,
was telling us
does
everyone.
that
Okay.
tell me that I see stuff?
You do see stuff. You see the warlock. You see the elf. You see the tail wagging warrior. You see a dog. You see another dog, and they're attacking some kind of shadow. It's small. It's hard to see from here, but it's definitely humanoid. But it seems to be fighting back. That's not a good sign.
Can I make out that one over there as well?
No, I think
It's
that's
right at
fire,
40.
wouldn't it? Well, it would be
Additional
40.
20 feet from the corner. So yeah, you would
Yeah, you
catch
could.
glimpses of 2 shadowy figures approaching from here. So yeah, at the edge of the darkness, you basically see 2 small ones moving up, and
Alright.
you're halfway sitting next to the fire, so that's not him.
Yeah, and there's not multiple of him. Alright, Joan's gonna immediately stop singing, stand up, and yell, "Enemy raid!"
Enemy, what now?
You're under attack.
No,
Dong, dong, ring the bell, ring the bell. The redcoats are coming, the redcoats are coming. Ah!
That will bring the elf up.
I was gonna say,
20
if I get
fucking more
action,
people
Michael,
to
I
see.
will draw.
Okay.
Let me see. 40 feet, draw longsword.
I
Okay.
didn't go at all.
question would be, do you have your shield on, or would you have taken it off since you were resting?
Since I'm using the buckler now, I'd leave it on because I can still use my hands with that effectively.
Not that encumbering. So.
Yes.
Okie dokie.
If it was the light shield, no. Since it's buckler, yes.
I'll be right back.
Alrighty. So stand up, weapon drawn, and moving over to the warlock. You can see some goblins, good sir.
I think I can see this one perfectly.
5, 10, 15, 20.
That
Additionally, and then 5, 10, 15, 20. So those up to here, this one is in bright light to you. These three are in low light, so you have a little bit of a mischance on them, but you do make them out.
That's stupid bullshit. Okay. If I was to hear targeted this one,
You can move up to target it, or you can target from where you are. Not going to affect your vision at all because you don't have a torch moving with you. You're just going from the campfire light. So it's still going to be a
even with
20%
low light vision.
Yep.
Yes.
Because the light is only going.
From
So
the
where you're
campfires.
standing to here is still bright light. To here is dim light.
He's literally one
You don't
square
have a
outside
torch.
of bright light.
Well, I can move one step forward.
That doesn't change where the light's coming from.
The light's not coming
The
from
light's
you.
coming from this.
It's coming from the
It's coming from
campfires.
this.
Yeah.
It's
Yep.
the
Oh,
campfire light. only
what you're
goes
saying
to
is
here.
me having low light vision
Doesn't
mean
change
shit.
where the light source is coming from.
No.
The light
Okay.
source is only going to this 40-foot square. From
So,
here, this is low light. Out
yeah,
to
question.
here.
If I
Yes.
cast my ability, what's the minus on it?
So 50% mischance.
It is with
Well,
low
it's an
light
automatic hit, though. I do like half
areas
the
of darkness. You'd have like a 50% mischance, but because you have low light and extend the illumination, it's not as bad for you. What you suffer from is just basically concealment, which would be a 20% mischance. So 1 out of 5 attacks are pretty much going to be a miss for you.
I think I missed.
I was going to say, if the mathematical odds actually apply.
Yeah, you never know with digital dice. 12 is going to be a miss anyway against
Yeah.
its AC, so I won't bother having you roll D100.
I shouldn't have moved that far.
It's too dark, dude.
Well, and you're a mage. You're not supposed to get that close anyway.
You got
Fine.
60-foot range, so you could have stayed back and popped a shot, but
I didn't know that.
you'd like to weigh into melee and get up close.
Wait. Oh, wait. I have a +1. Would that have mattered?
Nope.
Nope.
Okay. I failed anyways.
If I
Yeah,
remember
I was
their AC
forgetting
was
about
around
my,
14 or
other
15.
ability.
+1 from what?
I get a +1. Hold on. I get a +1 from point blank shot.
If the target's within 30
Right.
feet.
Which it is within
Which I
30
am.
feet. So that would give him a +1 to hit and damage, which puts it at 13. And orcs do have a 13 AC, so that is a potential hit inside the red zone aura, which would give you +2 damage if it was a melee attack.
Plus 1
So-
damage if it was
But
melee.
yeah, it
So that'll
doesn't
only
matter.
give you a +1 from point blank, but you're gonna have to roll me D100s to see if it actually is successful. So
Oh,
roll me a
wait.
/1D100 because you have that mischance. Your aim could hit its AC with your skill, but is your accuracy good in this limited vision? 20% mischance. That is well over the 20 mark. So despite the limited vision and to everybody else, you pretty much being in darkness, you just shot something dead on and nailed it. So that is a hit with your electric blast. So you can roll your damage. And
No, wasn't that my or not.
oh yeah, you already got the damage built in your
It was
macro.
just 3.
So
4.
3 plus point blank makes 4. So you almost kill him as you leave him with 1 life left. As you knock the wind out of him, he stumbles back to his feet, coughing blood.
It's a good thing I said something, okay, people?
You did well. You did well. Meanwhile, 7. You're up.
See, I was almost forgetting about my point blank shot. It's always there.
You can't forget about that's very important to have.
It is.
Oh,
So
there
what are you
go.
doing, puppy?
Yes.
Oh,
No.
oh.
Uh-oh.
I think that's confirmed.
Yeah.
That's gonna be confirmed.
All right.
Give me the bad news.
Awkward attack. She takes a -2 penalty to AC for. Oh wait, I'm sorry. This is natural weapon, not melee. Tiring attack. You are fatigued. -2 to strength and dex.
Oh.
Ouch.
For how long?
She is fatigued until she rests.
Takes like an hour to rest and recover. So for this combat, it's gonna be -1 to pretty much hit and damage, and -1 to AC and reflex saves.
Yep.
So unpleasantness.
Oh, not the worst critical fumble.
Yeah, could have been a lot worse.
Yeah,
I was gonna say
true.
the melee one was -2 to AC for 1d4 rounds.
It's not an arrow to the chest, thankfully.
Yeah.
Shit, yeah, no shit. Well, no, that was a critical hit, not a critical miss.
Bad things can happen.
Yeah.
So moving on, we are over to White Wolf, who has
He's not happy.
one of them nailed you. One of them left.
And that guy dies.
And
He's just snapping necks off over here.
who bit me? You? Oh, you're dead.
Oh,
He's just snapping necks.
you hit me. That was stupid.
You dumb. I wish I had more than one attack. God damn it. I'd be killing things.
Orcs are up. And did that elf just hit me? Oh no. I'm gonna do something about that.
I'm gonna do something stupid.
Pointy
Would-
pink flesh
wouldn't be the
thing
first time.
guy.
Looks like meat's back on the menu, boys.
And it will proceed on up and take a lovely, lovely swing.
We really need more of these things to attack us. The CR doesn't feel strong enough.
And that will be a
Bring
shitty
it a
roll
minute.
against you. So that is a miss on the warlock. And other one will proceed up, and other one will proceed up. And rolling. Ouch.
This one can't attack.
Yeah, you can only move and
He can't do it. He can't attack because he needs to have a full round action to attack.
That's why he's just proceeding up. The other one is the ouch versus 7
Yep.
with the 18. Thank God it doesn't have the falchion. That could be a potential confirm.
Yep.
Yeesh.
So that is a hit, and our damage is
Holy shit.
10 points.
Oh.
Ow.
Oh. Oh, that hurts.
That does hurt.
As it brings that axe to bear on the puppy, which will bring you, 0 counting as a number, to -1.
Oh no, 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 no. No, 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 no.
Wait, what?
She's got a rogue's dice
Hit dice.
mixed in there.
Which one hit me?
Not you.
Not you. You lucked out. It can't, thanks to that critical miss, it can't attack and hit you, so it had to move up.
And
So it can
Kazu,
hit you
it's
next
your
time.
fault for tempting fate. This isn't a threat. This isn't serious.
I got this.
Things are gonna die today. She's got 9 rounds to make a heal check.
Well, there's
That's
also
not
party
a heal
members who
check
can
she has
do
to
heals.
make. It's a percentile roll.
Death saving percentile. So we got Puppy, who is gonna be unconscious. I don't know if she loses her form when she drops or not. That's a good question.
Yes.
She does.
He. She.
Yeah, he.
Androgynous male.
They.
Boop.
The,
So that's why I picked a token that had both my orc form and my wolf form.
I mean, we can still just use the dog if you prefer.
It doesn't matter.
We know who it is.
Yep.
Yeah. Oh, good.
Hey, Shig, remember that heal bubble?
Yeah.
Now's the time to use it!
I assume I heard the dog. I heard the dog.
You'd see it. She's
Yeah.
in low light. You'd see her drop. You'd see that axe thud down on her skull and fucking crumple her.
You see the dog basically in shadowy light, basically not look like a dog as it drops.
That's not a
it was-
dog!
That's not a dog.
Oh, and the goblin's gonna hit 42.
That's no
I'll save the
dog.
puppies. Save the puppies.
And the dog will take 4 points, bringing him down to 2 life. Oh, the dogs are taking a horrible beating.
Why did you have to tempt fate?
Goblin versus the white wolf, which no one can. Well, I think the elf can see it barely. It's shadowy light.
No, I'm dark. I'm out in the middle of nowhere.
Well, from the corner here,
Oh, I guess, yeah, I'm within that
yeah,
40.
with his low life, the elf can see you and what you're doing. Goblin against you.
Oh,
natural
it
20.
actually hits me.
Jesus.
That's.
And 10's not going to confirm.
I was gonna say, that's a net 20. Oh shit!
I'm just giving my damage.
3 points.
Ooh,
Just regular
I'm
damage.
almost getting to that rage point. Couple more points like that, I'm gonna go nuts!
Just hopefully the orc doesn't hit you, because that could really hurt.
Up. Goblins.
In the light.
In the light. Which means... someone can see them now.
Everybody can see them now.
That one, anyway.
Yeah.
I have
The
one
low
more
lights where you
question.
can see the others, so all the baddies are pretty much in vision except for what the white wolf is doing.
Who's dropping things?
And they've done their turn, so Samurai, you're up. Both the dogs just took a heavy beating, and there's a lot of big shadowy creatures, and the elf is under attack. And the dog is down, which doesn't look like a dog.
I'm gonna try to help the dog first. Reacting, switching my color, switching my aura to vigor.
That'll heal 1 round up to half your life, right?
Yep, and it fast healing 1, so on her turn she gains 1 HP back, so that will heal her back to normal.
Automatically put her back to stable.
0
Yep.
and stable.
So
So
I
that you
just
can
take a.
shift.
Let's see how much far I can go. I'm just gonna go right. I'm gonna go right here so that at least at least they'll go for me instead of her, and that's the end of my turn.
All right, you step into the dim light. You can't really make out the individual on the floor unless you want to make a spot check, but you got big shadowy figures, so
Yeah, at least
Well,
they'll.
small shadowy figures.
yeah. Well, I mean, the orcs are a little bit larger, but yeah, the goblin.
Yeah, at least here they'll see me like, oh, let's get him.
Jezebel, you are up, and there are things within the light, and there are things at the edge of the lights. What say? What act you?
Do the thing.
So you will stand up and you will head in the direction.
Mhm.
Okie dokie. And done. Alrighty. 42's turn.
42 heals by 1.
We'll take him up from 2 to 3 life as it heals up to half.
I got a question.
Let's see.
Can he take a swipe step backward, which doesn't proc attack of op?
Yes.
Dog can move 5 feet without drawing an attack of op or do
There
a
we go.
withdrawal. Or it could just attack or whatever. So he can pull back 5 feet, no problem. He will be within the healing aura and be at half life. And done as 42 falls back. And Joan.
Move to there and swing on that goblin.
To the south. As you are right, you are being attacked. From
And
the
that's
darkness.
why she yelled.
That is a hit. And that is some good damage. Goblin will die. As you move up and split him open.
Oh. I
Next.
got a new one! Let me use my new toy!
Save it. There's others down there.
That will bring it over to the Warlock's turn, which is uninjured but has 2 guys right in his face.
Go
Okay,
finish
I'm
off one right in front of me.
Yep, one right in front of you and one beside you. So you could step back 5 feet and blast him, or you could do something else.
Am I allowed to move 5 feet back?
You can use your move action to move back 5 feet, not draw attack of op, and then blast the crap out of him if you want.
Alright, doing that.
All right. 18 plus 4 within 30 feet, point blank applies.
So it's 19 plus 5. 19 plus 1, I mean. Oh no, it won't be. No, it's still point blank. Unless it's once a day.
No, point blank's a flat bonus as long as it falls within that 30 feet. You
Yeah.
get the benefits.
He's dead.
I go AFK for a brief moment and come back and it's dead quiet.
Michael's doing something.
Okay. Sorry, answering to a reply. And good. So that one will take its full life this time around and dead. And that will bring it on over to 7, who will be at 0 life. So you are conscious now. You can take a single action. As long as it's not strenuous, you won't pass out again. So you could basically, as a swift action, switch back into your animal form, and it would not cause you to lose consciousness.
Okay. I'm guessing moving is too strenuous.
You could move, but you'd have to stand up first. And if you do, the orc and goblin next to you would get a free attack, and they'd probably just beat you down if they hit.
So basically, turning back into my dog form, then they wouldn't do that.
Yeah, swift action you can do for free, so you can swift into animal form to get the buff to AC, and then if you want to, you can either try to crawl 5 feet away or stand up. Both will draw attacks of op. You could choose to make an attack while prone. You're going to suffer -4 to your attack, but you could attack one of them. Of course, they would attack back on their turns, or you could just go total defense as your standard action and buff your AC up by an additional 4 points and just sit there and wait for help.
He's going to go as a swift action, turn back into his fucking dog form, and then he's going to go into total defense.
On the ground, protecting yourself. Gotcha. That'll counteract the negatives for being prone and then some. And you already have a good AC, so that's going to put you at 20 plus. So yeah, not going to be easy target. All right, moving over, we have the White Wolf, and he has one baddie.
I hate when you get fucking teriyaki sauce from chicken wings all over your fucking arms and covered. You need to go find fucking wipes. Be right back.
What? Was that even a sentence?
It was.
A
That's a
run-on
good
sentence,
question.
maybe.
It sounded like a takeout menu order plus something about an animal.
Teriyaki chicken got all over her arms, and now she has to go and find wipes.
Oh, okay. That makes a lot more sense.
For once, it wasn't me with the messed up hearing going, wait, what did she just say?
I think the fact that I understood it was due to the fact that I've been in that situation so many times.
The thing about teriyaki,
It's a messy
Eat with
food,
your
but it's
fingers,
delicious.
not with your arms.
I do, but somehow it gets in places that I don't understand.
Like on your shirts or something.
Like on my shirt or like underneath my shirt on my stomach.
Oh my gosh, so the one time that happened with me is when I had like one of the fine kind of
I
shirts.
hate to
and
derail
it's
your story, but we aren't
Oh, right.
gaming.
Sorry.
Everybody's had messy food and made a mess of it.
Yeah, we've all done that many times.
So it is White Wolf's turn. What are you doing, Kazu?
Thing's gonna die.
Would be preferable. Make it so.
And another neck goes crunch.
Oh, yeah. And, oh, there it goes. And down. And you still have your move, sir,
Oh yeah, I do, don't I?
if you want to use it.
Hang on, I gotta calculate movement speeds here. I can move 60 in this form.
Yep. You can go just about anywhere, sir.
If I go to, I don't want to be in his fucking healing circle.
if it makes you feel
The
better,
question is where it is and how large it is, because technically it can't be seen.
here's the thing too. If you're more than half health, it won't affect you. It's only for anyone who has less than half health.
Yeah, I suppose that's true.
The other thing is
Yep.
also he's never done this before, so you don't know about it.
It's
Yep.
also
As far as you
true.
know, 7 just bounced back with a second wind.
I'm going here. That way I can avoid these two's attacks of op.
Beautiful. And on the goblin.
By moving down and avoiding their squares.
Oh, yeah. And Batty's turns. The dog's down. Not really caring too much about it. Gonna go after the big fancy fighter to kick its butt. Other guy's gonna move up 5 feet because he still, for this round and next round, cannot move and attack. And the other goblin's basically gonna look at the dog and, oh, it's still moving. I'm gonna hit it. And 15, not gonna hurt the dog. Other goblin is gonna turn and attack the white wolf that came over to it. 17 will actually land a blow. That is shocking. And that will deal 3 points of damage. Definitely getting you to that halfway mark you want.
I need to be at 5.
Oh. That's gonna take a little bit longer. But you're getting
No, that puts me at 6 life. So I have to be at 5 times my druid level.
What?
Or my
Yeah, except
barbarian level.
if you're below half, you're fixed to heal for 1 point.
Help. Yeah, that'll
Taking you
put me at
further away
7.
from the point you want to be at.
Yeah,
Sorry, dude.
he'll-
I had to save your friend. I'm sorry,
Alright,
dude.
you're good, dude.
And no one knows you're doing it.
That's
you
the
get
other thing.
You get no praise for it. And baddies are moving up. So goblins. First 2 are going against Joan. Hopefully not of Arc. 1 hit, 1 miss.
See, the thing that kills Joan is a fire.
So as long as they're not holding torches or pushing her into the campfire, she's fine.
Technically, she was tried and executed, is what it was. And it was just death by burning at the stake.
So don't break any laws is the lesson?
Pretty much. Well, more of don't piss off people and get wrongfully accused. Because of all the charges they laid against her, the only one that was actually legitimate was wearing men's clothing.
I thought she got crucified.
No, she was burned at the stake.
Oh,
Like a witch.
Yes.
You will get hit by the one that rolled an 18, so that will be 4 points to you, Adam.
Got it.
And the other one is getting a 20 against Jezebel as
Ew.
max not out of her for 5 points of damage. Holy crap. Almost max.
Yeah.
Ooh,
Ow.
ladies are getting a beat down. And let's see, the orc that moved up, I'll need to roll him against the samurai.
I'm gonna be sad because I have a feeling I know where this
13
is going.
That's
will
a
not
miss.
hit. Not close at all.
well, this
And
one.
it is Samurai's turn to reciprocate.
This one never hit me.
Nope. He rolled a critical miss, remember? So for 3 rounds, it takes him a 4-round action to attack. And since you keep moving,
So that's
he can
that
only
guy.
move or attack.
One
If
idiot.
you would stand still, he could finally attack you. But because you keep moving, he has to keep moving, and he cannot attack.
Sucks for him.
Okay, time to attack this orc with my samurai sword.
So you are up, sir. What you doing?
Time to attack with my sword and tail.
Sword drawn and swing and attack. Or did you draw your sword when you moved up originally?
Well, I'm drawing it right now.
Okay, that'll be a move action to draw unless you have quick draw.
Yeah.
So you will be able to attack with the sword. That 16 will hit, and the 8 damage will confirm. So you have killed something that hasn't ran from you with your sword, finally. That is dead, sir.
That's bad.
Okay, that's all I can do for now. That's the end of my turn.
You could shift 5 feet if you wanted to as a free action, since you physically haven't moved. Otherwise, you can just stay put.
I'm staying put to keep the dog alive.
Sounds good. Moving over to Jezebel's turn. You are below half life, honey, and so heal for 1 point will put you at 4 life. And
Yeah,
your
you-
turn to take action.
You feel some sort of power healing you. You don't know what it is, but it feels
Ooh,
nice.
Slightly close up.
You really need to explain that to the party at some point of what it does. Are
You're just gonna
you
leave everybody in suspense for a while?
probably for the best, maybe? Are you withdrawing from the enemies moving there, or are you walking away from the enemy who could possibly smack you for walking away?
Yeah, I'll take the AOA. I meant attack up.
You'll take the attack off? Ooh, ballsy. All right, I will roll for the goblin. 18 on the dice. That will be a hit. And you'll take 3 points of damage, putting you at 1 life. Well, that is risky.
Yeah, maybe you shouldn't have moved. Whatever was healing you was nice.
Or withdrawn. Oh well, find out next turn. So you are moving. What are you doing next?
Burning hands. Directed.
All right, so
That
not
way.
getting Joan
Yeah.
and getting them that way to where you get to 2. Done. Doing the nice little triangle. All right, so they have to make a check. What is the DC, please, to not have incinerated
DC.
baddies? And what is the damage, please? 1d4, I think, at that level.
Mhm.
All right,
Yeah.
go right ahead.
DC will be 10 plus her 10 plus spell level plus casting modifier, if I remember correctly.
So that'd be 11 plus int.
I think does War Mage Edge affect this spell?
If you're casting from your war mage, then it
Are you
should
casting it as a war
affect
mage, or are you casting it as the other class?
Artificer can't cast, so I'm casting it as War Mage.
Alright. Oh,
That
true.
is fair.
Well, Artificer can, it just takes forever.
Yeah, they're kind of the setup or Batman of the casting.
Oh yeah, don't give an artificer setup time. Do not.
War Mage, Complete Mage, I believe. Complete Arcana. We'll check. Shall
You check
find
complete
out.
arcane, I'll check complete mage.
I was looking at Complete Mage, and there's nothing in there,
I'll
so
check
Complete
arcane
Arcane.
real quick.
1d4 points damage normally.
War mage.
Is
War mage. Edge.
is
Give
in the
me
book. War Mage Ed applies
Cast a
as
spell that deals hit points damage, add their intelligence to the damage. So their intelligence modifier applies to any spell they cast that deals damage.
Mm-hmm.
Scrolls do not apply. Same with other magic items such as wands or potions.
and damage. For example, 3 to magic missiles. Single spell can never
Staffs do
gain extra
apply,
damage
though.
for more than once per casting. For instance, if you cast Fireball, it deals the extra damage to all creatures in the area. So yeah, that does carry nicely.
So D4 plus intelligence modifier in damage.
Yeah.
Bare minimum, but DC is
that's
gonna be a
guessing.
14 probably then, if it's it based.
It's 14. Oh, no. The spellcaster. The spell itself would be cast with charisma, but the War Mage's Edge adds intelligence.
Okay, so
Okay, so your
what's your-
charisma mod plus 11, so that'd make it higher. So 1 fail, 1 make.
Mm-hmm.
So we have first guy takes the brunt of it and is reduced to low life. Second guy makes it, takes half, and hardly even feels it as he uses his teammate as a human shield.
Goblin shield?
Goblin shield. And done. Pissed at you. 42's turn. What is he doing next?
He gets healed up by 1, and he can no longer get the benefit unless he gets hurt again.
Does it allow them to exceed half-life?
Yes.
1 point
Under
above
half.
half?
Yeah, once it's above half, it's off going into effect.
Okay, so yeah, I'll put him at 4 out of 6, so he is above half.
So,
Puppy.
he's gonna go back inside.
Oh, whimper.
And then, that's it.
Alrighty. And that'll put it bomb the order. Chuck has finally retrieved his crossbow from his equipment, finally loaded it as a full round action, and finally can shoot something. And Chuck whiffs at the goblin next to Joan. Wonderful. Well, good luck reloading that, buddy. All right, top of the order. Joan.
5 foot step.
Okie dokie.
And then Michael, burning a spell for spontaneous cast. Casting defensively, inspiration boosting it. So this is going to have combat casting plus the other, so that plus that. So rolling. There we go. That's the total. I think I make it.
That's lucky high dice roll plus good modifier, so yeah.
I deliberately stacked the odds in my favor as much as possible.
Well, with that defensively built into it, that 11 is insane. So yeah, you got the cast defensively, so what are you casting defensively with an inspiration boost?
Cure light wounds.
On who?
Jez.
Okay.
7 points of healing to her.
Roll that beautiful healing.
Yay, I'm
She
full now.
heals for 7.
You
That
should
puts
have
her
said it
back
right
at
there.
max. Well, half-life? No, max. Max.
So, is the green thing supposed to be the max thing?
Yes.
Oh, that
Green
should
is
be
max.
fine.
Red is current, and the blue is your AC,
Okay.
if it helps.
Yeah, no, that's fine.
Okay. Done and done. So we are at the Warlock's turn.
Moving back 5 spots.
Yep.
And now this time I'm hitting this guy.
Pegging the guy who keeps chasing you. Make it happen.
No.
And you just keep rolling those hits, and that's 4 damage plus the +1, so 5. That is his life. He dies before he gets a turn where he could actually move and attack you. Good time to end the fight.
It's tough.
Wait, isn't there a dude left?
Yeah.
Right
Oh yeah.
here?
There's still a couple baddies up there and down below left that you can see. Here,
I didn't even look at that guy.
there, and then of course the 3 up there. So yeah.
7, you get 1 HP back.
At 1 life, so you can actually act using a full round action without basically collapsing. So you could stand up and attack. You'd draw an attack of op, but you could do so. Otherwise, you could attack and then stand up after the goblin's dead if you hit. Whatever you want to do. Or you could just do total defense and wait it out.
He's gonna do a total defense and wait it out.
Sounds
Someone will
good.
fucking kill him.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
No reason to risk it. And wolf versus goblin. Go.
And things are gonna die today.
You get 1 HP back too, dude.
Yep.
I forgot about that.
So you'll be at 7. But with any luck, maybe some guy will
Oop.
find you.
That's not what I wanted to do.
Oh, that's the wrong direction.
That's
No,
one way to
I meant to hit plus and I hit equal. I didn't fucking shift right.
All fine.
I was gonna say, no, you don't go down to 1 HP. You gain 1 HP.
And that's another dead thing.
Yep. And goblin down.
And let me
Move action.
measure. Hey, look.
Within 60 feet.
Things are gonna die. Although, actually,
Imagine
He would
probably
not.
go
he
7.
would go here. Yeah.
And over to Batty's turn. Wolf just ran up to me. Dog is cowering. I think I'll hit the wolf.
I was gonna say I'll make an intimidate check if I have to.
Goblins are cowards, but that's big and scary and coming its way. So yeah, it will swing at you and miss horribly. Other goblins, though, will gently come after Joan. Starting left to right. Critical miss. Rolling to confirm. Natural 20.
I'll take that 20. That's the perfect
Better-
time for them to roll a 20 against me.
Yeah, that's not a critical hit, so just a miss, thankfully, and a wasted of a 20. So
Yes,
lucky
I
you.
know. That's why I'm happy with that.
Next up, a 2. Next roll's a 3. I'm gonna laugh. And next one's another 2. Wow.
Close enough.
You got the 3 stooges up there. Can't hit squat.
Hey, I did a good deed and helped Jez. So in response, they're like, "We'll let you." The dice say, "You get to live this time."
Next up is samurai.
Let's see here if I could go here. No,
You can charge. Oh wait, no, you can't. Al's in the way.
Ah,
I was like, "You can charge." Wait, no. Well, maybe.
straight line without it crossing a square. It would cross the corner of his square. So
I
no.
can only move 20 feet, so
I can
let's
duck and he
see.
can roll over me.
That's
I'm
not
cool with this.
If you charge,
No,
you get
it-
double your speed.
If only. So you can double move over there, but you can't swing.
I'll do it right here so that 7 can still get healed.
Sounds good.
And
Any
the other
action?
that's all I can do. I'll take a ready action if someone comes if one of the goblins or orcs come my way, I'll kill it.
Fair enough. All right.
If I had the ability, I would totally kick one over to you.
Jezebel back at full life, and after burning, what's next?
Boop.
You have it set for corners, it looks like.
Yes. And another burning hands.
Okay. I'd almost say you could move instead over to here and then have a straight shot at him.
Oh.
She'd have to get right next to one of them, though, to do all three.
No, I kind of value my life.
Yeah.
Especially after what they just did to you.
Yeah.
So you'll get 2 then with that if you do the straight square design pattern. 1 square, 3 squares, 3 squares. So you get 2 of them.
I know.
All right. I will roll.
Why?
I have no idea.
1 save, 1 fail. The guy who saves will take 1. He's the guy who made it last time also by using his friend as a shield. His friend won't be so lucky. He will fail and get incinerated fully this time.
Crispy crittered.
Conscious. Burned and dropping. That will bring it to 42's turn. Back at the camp. People are pretty much taking shelter. The elves have just been keeping watch for any other attacks from the side as they're worried. While Richard is just keeping the people safe and just pretty much in place. 42 does anything?
No.
Moving on then. Top of the order. Joe.
Joan, gonna swing at the one, right there close to Liz, or close to Jez.
Okie doke.
And switching back over. Attack roll.
That will be sufficient. That will do. Dead. I think we only got 2 goblins left. So moving along. Warlock, you are up.
Adam Warlock.
Hold on.
Sorry, Adam is not a warlock.
So this one's still alive, right?
That one and the one in between the 2 wolf dogs. But yes.
I won't be able to hit that one though. Yeah, that'd be iffy. I'm gonna move you here, and then cast on that one.
30 feet, exactly. So you'll just be
No, that was only 20 feet. Oh, that's what you mean by 30.
30 feet to get that. So that's within
That's
point
fine.
blank, but it is in melee combat with Joan, so you will take -4 for shooting into melee. Although 9
miss
still won't hit
anyways.
anyway. That's technically a 10, -4 makes it a 6, so still no good either way. Till you get that
Rolls on
precise
both,
shot.
though. Rolled a 1 for damage and a 4 on the d20. Yeesh.
Not a good round, but he killed 2 orcs, so pass on the goblin is okay.
True, and at least those numbers weren't reversed.
Could have been bad.
Next up is Puppy. So we have at 2 life.
Hold on, doing something really quick. Okay. Barely, with Orcusuk at his side, 7 now has enough balls to be all like, I'm gonna fucking eat this fucker.
So are you attacking or are you staying up and attacking?
He's going to attack first, like a little nibble. A nibble, nibble.
A nibble nibble.
A lot of nibble?
Gotta tear something off.
Roll a 5 on a d6? That's not a little bit of nibble.
Moderation. Don't know what that is.
That I believe. Name me one character Squeaker has played that knew what the word moderation meant.
The dead one.
Which one?
So 17 while fighting while prone is going to be -4, it appears. So that's a 13. So you will unfortunately miss. Close, but not quite. As your teeth get stuck on its armor, but can't sink in.
Close but no cigar.
But you have a
Don't,
friend
can't
there.
smoke.
What say you, Wolf? You are up, Kazu.
Indeed, things are gonna die.
Although I'll admit, if Seven started smoking a cigar, that would be interesting to see.
Maybe
And
we should
another
start
one.
teaching them poker too.
That will finish it. It is dead.
Yeah.
And
Of course, you're not sure what's
you'll heal for
healing
another
you
point
guys.
of life.
You know it feels nice.
And there is one baddie left up in the top corner, and he's going after Joan. Can he? Shall he? Who knows? But does not critically fail.
That is hilarious. That one guy
Samurai
keeps
is
doing that.
Alright, I'll be right back.
Okay.
Lucky Adam.
Samurai goes up,
I'll take what I can get. Then again, as long
swings
as
with the
I'm still,
sword.
as long as I'm still alive, I'm fine.
Yep. 1 HP or more, I'm good.
No, even at 0
And he's
HP, I'm
dead.
good.
That is a hit, and that is more than enough to put him in the ground. So he is dropping and bleeding out. Dead. All right, baddies are down.
I was gonna say, even at 0 HP, I'm still fine because I can still pop a self heal.
Yep. All right, we exit combat. Looks like you cleaned up a nice little nasty scouting or raiding party.
Michael, I'm gonna activate positive healing for myself again,
Okie dokie, burn
which
the
is
turn.
fast heal 2 for 5 rounds.
Oh, life.
Yep. And check the bodies for anything of use. If nothing, then just going to drag them off in the darkness and toss them away. Get them away from the camp.
Goblin leather arm. Goblin clubs. Orc axes. Orc armor. That's it. Looks like they were equipped light, so most likely raiding party.
Yeah. Not interested in that. Axes, maybe, but don't have a really way of transporting them because they can be worse stuff. But unless some of the other people, the NPCs, want them.
No need for goblin or orc crafted equipment. Dwarf will pass. Chuck says no. Richard will say
Maybe our orcish wolf friend will want one, but I don't think anyone else needs them.
so. Party will pass, and they will dispose of said bodies.
Be right back.
One's getting nommed on.
Except for what 7 decides to have his midnight snack. Alrighty. You'll be able to get your rest, so that will pretty much take care of your fatigue for the rest of the night. Will you be sharing your aura shig with the party? Will the party involving the White Wolf and 7 be close enough to benefit from said aura? Or will you be camping away from the camp?
Does sleeping count as unconscious?
Was
For
that
you to lose your benefits? No.
Okay, so then I could just sleep in a dog form.
Correct.
Okay, thank fuck. Then there's no reason for him to basically be stalking out in the dim light then, so he would have come back into camp and then laid down and went to sleep. And
Wow.
42 would have come over and done it with him.
I
That'll
simply
put
walk
you
up to the
here.
no. I walk up to the dog. I just they're in my aura. Once I know I've done it. Once I know you heal up back to like half your health or more than half, I just nod and switch my aura back to damage.
I'm just gonna look at you like you're gonna give me food again.
He picks up, at this point, Orkazik would pick up one of the dead bodies and trot over to Joan and just kind of flop it down in front of her and look at her like, you wanted to bury things? Here you go.
She takes the body, drags it off into the darkness, and throws it away.
He then shifts and looks at her and goes, you're learning. I'm proud of you.
Well, if you're hungry, you can go eat.
I had my fill. Those ribs were really good. He kind of walks over, picks him up, and kind of looks at him and goes, "Do you want one?"
No.
I just look at him and just, I'm good. I pick up some of my rations, eat some, and then give the rest to 7 by tossing it over to him at 42.
He shrugs. Just
Easily, like, eat it off the ground and then eventually go to sleep.
yep. He'll shift back to his wolf form and kind of curl up.
All right. You guys will be able to fully rest for the night. Be able to set your spells in the morning for those who need to, make special prayers, and everybody while sleeping will gain back their level and hit points, so that's an additional 1 life. Should you need it.
I think I'm the only one now not at full again.
7's also hurt.
I was at full already.
That'll put her
Yeah.
at 11.
Her life bar is showing full on my screen. That's why I said something.
Yeah.
Yeah. She was missing 1.
You know,
Or
Yeah.
actually, she should be at half, so it would have been out of 11 would 6. So I put her at 7, honestly.
Yeah.
Sorry, adjusted it properly.
you know how the fight could have been avoided?
So yeah, you two are the only ones who are slightly injured.
Oh, we have to do.
Alrighty.
I like to live dangerously.
Stupid melee trying to hit a warlock. Idiots.
And that one guy who kept chasing you down, like, I'm gonna hit. No, stop moving.
I shall not be touched.
Not by the hands
Bad
of
touch. Bad touch. Alright.
Chuck will just reload his crossbow and set it ready at the knapsack, and the elves will pretty much keep watch. And all the other peasants will take their rest, including Richard. Morning arrives, Richard is up bright and early, writing down his ledger and consulting some small stone as he's looking at the map.
Joan will get up at like dawn and pray for an hour.
Jazz would kind of head over to Richard and look over his shoulder.
Oh, hi Jezebel.
Hey, mind me asking what's them? I'll keep going into it. I was going to. I'm turning into Lily.
No, it's not that. It's what Sheik posted in the other channel.
What?
Bad touch! Bad touch! Stranger danger!
Oh, yeah. That's what happens when enemies get into melee with casters. Is like, bad touch, bad touch!
Death.
That's mostly because of that's what Seal always
Every
fucking says.
game.
It's because she either does the bad touch to somebody or she wants to avoid somebody doing the bad touch to her.
Oh, she screams it out in every game she's playing.
Not wrong.
Mind me asking, who you talking to in that stone? Did you get in contact with the one that had this caravan thing?
Oh no, nothing of the sort. The stone's not magical at all. Just kind of a lucky charm, as it were. I was just consulting the map while holding it to plot our course if we happen to deviate from the main road. Sorry. I tend to carry a few little knickknacks here and there, maybe a scroll or a potion or two, but nothing so much as a stone as he just holds up like a nice little polished quartz stone in his hand.
I see. Those can be used in many spells. Just
True
letting you know.
enough. Sure thing, my dear. You ever want to trade notes, or if we get to town safe and sound, maybe I'll cut you a deal at one of my shops.
Well, I've been taking notes of the companions that we currently have. Al's fine, because he's always there. She kind of, like, gestures towards him.
Everybody know what's going on.
At this point, Orkazik walks up in wolf form and kind of looks at Al, looks at Jezebel, looks at Al, lifts a leg, and piddles on the ground in front of him.
In front
I
of
see
Al
I found
or
a
Jazz?
wolf friend, eh?
And as you say, friend, the leg lifts a little higher, and suddenly your leg starts getting warm.
Ah, good friend indeed.
Takumo just walks up to you like, well, I think the wolf likes you. A little bit too much.
Hey, it's okay. I'll pet it on and see what happens.
Are you really gonna pet him?
Yeah, I put my hand out towards his face. See what happens.
See
He just
what
kind of
happens.
looks at you, almost as if he's daring you to pet him.
Are you growling or not?
No, he's just staring at you. No growl, no
Stare
teeth bare,
down.
just staring at you.
It's a different kind of wolf we got here.
Ow!
Normally they growl when you put your hand out towards them. I take my
Ow!
hand back. I
That's
don't
because-
trust this.
Because he's an orc, you dingus.
I know that.
Thank you,
He
Sarah.
kind of turns around and just kind of squats a little bit, and all of a sudden there's a big brown pile right there at your feet. He scuffs his feet and walks off.
He's gonna walk around that.
She will step closer to Richard. Okay,
Yeah, I'm
He,
gonna join.
he walks over where there's clearly a fresh dug grave. Digs a little bit, digs a little bit, digs a little bit,
Oh no.
pulls out a torso,
Oi, leave it alone.
starts chewing,
I throw a rock at him.
keeps chewing, yanking bits of flesh. Getting at
Joan,
those sweet,
he has the
juicy
mind of
ribs.
an He has
He
the mind of an animal.
So I'll treat him as such. Act like one, I'll treat him that way.
So
He pops the chest cavity open, pops off a couple ribs,
Time to get
Looks
going.
looks at Joan and trots over and hands them to her as if he's presenting her a treat.
I don't know why you can't unmute.
So
She's not muted on my end.
I
me?
don't see it.
Yeah, not muted into mine either.
Do you have a mute button on your microphone?
No.
I was laughing.
Oh,
Oh.
he kind of looks at her like he's presenting her with a treat, like a cat bringing a dead bird. Just ribs. They're good. This one has lots of meat on it. Enjoy.
And I cast a spell, and a whole bucket full of water drops on him.
He shakes his head, carries the ribs off.
See?
Now,
Acts like an animal, treats like an animal.
so
Other words, bad dog.
I forget.
Pretty much.
What type of race is Richard?
Richard is your typical human.
Uh,
Human alchemist, as he refers to himself.
He drops the ribs in front of Seven, wanders over and picks up an arm.
I'm gonna start eating them.
Richard, I'd recommend we get out of here before
Ah, yes.
this makes some people sick.
Oh, well, I don't. Oh my.
He's an
Yes, we wouldn't want to upset any individuals or other entities.
I'm
Let's.
more worried about upsetting, like, those who've passed on and maybe the gods. This is just wrong.
Well, let us go ahead and bid adieu to this grim situation and head on down the.
Yeah.
He perks up as if plans on
Buried
leaving.
them, said the prayers over them, and then he just disturbs their rest. Anything bad befalls him, it's on him.
Which point the party will continue down the road for the next day, not too far off from where
The
they are
dogs
headed.
carry the meat, staying just
It's
off to the side of the road with them.
You do realize that, out of character, that's already rotting.
It's only been dead a day.
Yeah,
Well,
it'll start rotting
wild
in
animals
hours.
can still eat decaying meat with little to no difficulty.
Yeah, animals are
True,
different from
but
humans.
it's going to make the rest of us sick.
Well,
That's
you're
why
not-
He said he was off the edge of the road. He's not right in the middle of you. It's within distance of seeing the party and keeping with the party, but he keeps the arm. He's gonna need food later.
So 60-foot wide road. You guys are roughly 30 foot on the road. He's 30 foot off the road, so he's about 30 feet to 40 feet away from you. Hopefully downwind, and yeah, you should be fine. Just unpleasant if you look over your shoulder.
Yeah. Let's see. Mark that as cast. Oh, Jez.
Hmm?
Do you still need one of those scrolls figured out?
Yeah, here you go.
Take whichever one she hands me, Michael, and cast Remagic.
That will help you know what it is, but it doesn't help the other person. They'd have
True,
to
but
make
I
that
can at least
spell
tell
check.
her what it is.
That you can do. And you will cast Read Magic to identify that is an arcane scroll of Magic Missile.
And I tell her exactly that. And I hand the scroll back to her.
Do I ever hear?
Attacking the darkness.
It's a magic missile for attacking the darkness.
Yeah, but did I ever hear or not close to me? Because I'm kind of closer right now.
Creepy.
Very creepy.
Yeah,
He's a
just
warlock.
know
What do you
to
expect?
Get along.
And randomly, Orkazik playfully runs up, bounds between them, and kind of like flops right in front of Alanon, holding the arm up in his mouth like.
Fetch? Question mark.
Just keep walking.
At the moment you say fetch, he stands up and gives you this look of just. You don't know animals, do you?
I didn't grow up in the situation around animals. No.
Piddles on your leg and wanders off again. Shaking his head just the whole way.
I was grown
keep
up.
walking.
Never mind.
Just keep walking.
It's not my time to tell.
Party along with the NPCs will continue down the road. Although,
Wait, are the NPCs still with us?
yeah,
Yes.
you're escorting them to the town.
Or Kazik runs right up to the halfling and just kind of walks beside him,
Oh no!
carrying the arm proudly.
The halfling will dart over to the other side of one of the other humans and proceed up about 10 feet.
And or Kazik will keep pace.
So
He will take off running.
He will
I'm
keep
gonna
pace.
ask if there's a river nearby before we go into the city. Like immediately before we go in the city, though.
Where's the halfling running towards?
Down the road, which he can't outrun
The wolf.
as he moves at 20 and the wolf moves at 60.
The wolf is barely trotting. He's not even running. He's like trotting behind him. Like
I yell at the
Keeping-
wolf to stop scaring him.
he's not scaring him. He's just following him.
so
Not
And
even
I'll yell at the
stepping
halfling to
jaws.
come over to me.
at this point, Jez will be writing down this again. The orc seems to enjoy messing with smaller creatures.
Hey, Jezebel, let it piss on me. It's fine.
I understand. Now, I
But-
understand
But
that it's
before
all-
we go into the city, we're gonna need to find a river.
there
At the mention of river, he stops, ears perk up, turns around, runs straight at you, and just looks at you.
At which point, the halfling will come running back as one of the guys basically says, Dan, stop that. You're only provoking the creature.
And then he circles back around and trots on the other side with Joan on one side of the halfling and Orkazik on the other.
Just put a hand on his shoulder and
I'm rolling
just leave it there.
something.
On the halfling's shoulder, mind you.
Okay.
As trying to calm him down.
Why
Let's
is the
try
beef
patting
so
it and see what
disgusting?
happens.
Why does it rip my shirt? Why do these things keep happening to me? Why are you so nice and why is it so mean?
He's not being mean, he's being loyal.
Actually, you know
He
what?
brought you food.
I'm gonna try something that I should have tried like a day
Knowledge
ago.
geography.
I
I'm
was
gonna-
to find a
I'm
river, by
gonna
the
go
way.
to Kazu in wolf form, and I'm gonna try to pet it. And And wait, would a diplomacy check work on this?
In answer to the first question about the geography that was rolled, there is a river that does go to the capital, although it's quite a bit off the beaten path now that you guys have continued on for a day, so you'd
it's
have
probably
to go
pissed, though.
off the main road and travel for a couple of hours to get to it.
So,
Oh yeah, you smell.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
yeah, Jezebel kind of is just slowly stepping away from Alan because he stinks.
Sorry.
Ditto.
How about the diplomacy thing? Can I go up and pet it?
You can attempt it to present yourself nicely and try to do the
Put myself
petting.
next to the halfling.
Oh,
Dude, that's a terrible
I'm
roll.
also. So, which side's the halfling on? This side
The
or this side?
halfling is going to be this one right here. This guy.
Okay, so I'm
It
next to the
doesn't
halfling
matter.
on the
I
other
failed
side.
the roll probably terrible.
Looks like there's somebody already there, genius.
Well, he hadn't rearranged it in a walking pattern, so in terms of my role play, you had said that there was the halfling on one side of you, and
Basically,
I came up on the
three
other side of the other
adventurers.
halfling.
Back there, Richard right there, Chuck, as he's referred to, the dwarf right there. Then you got Dan, the halfling in the middle, and then you got the other two elf casters and the other two NPC survivors being escorted, with the
Okay,
party pretty much
so-
taking the lead.
Seven's actually gonna come up to Ala, and he's gonna start following him along with 42.
Why?
What about
Seven
pissing on
claims
you?
property.
I've already got pissed on twice.
Maybe it's gonna become 3
Or four.
or more.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure that one of the casters got precipitation for you. They'll clean up your food.
This is why I needed to find a river.
At that point, Seven just barks and then starts trying to dart off to where he knows the river would be. Inside.
Or Kazik keeps kind of nudging the halfling with the hand. Like,
I know.
look at it. Look at what I've got. Look what I've got. Look. Look.
7.
Dan, just
Which
ignore it.
point you notice
It's just an
the
animal.
two dogs are trying to lead you off in a direction.
And I will follow.
Which point, as you all are walking forward, they start to take off to their right, crossing over the main part of the road and heading into brush.
Just would follow.
Yeah, I would follow too. Just look at Joe like keep an eye on the wolf and the halfling, please.
Which point,
The wolf can do what it wants.
I'm trying to go get
Did
clean.
you say that in character?
Yes.
He immediately drops, his ears perk up, he immediately drops the arm, and then snatches up the halfling by his shirt and runs off into the woods.
what's left of it? Remember, it got torn up pretty badly.
She just stops, turns and looks at Richard and is just like, what the hell?
It's just and there goes the dogs, my hired help, the weird guy that was pissed in the forest, the wolf, and one of my merchant's traveling companions all to the woods. It leaves me with my merchant's traveling companion's bodyguard and my guys.
Apparently
Oh,
the people you
because-
hired are not very reliable.
Oh, because you opened up your mouth.
I was a travel companion on Slangware. I was not bodyguard. Yes.
Oh god, I'm dying.
Sounds like it. Shit.
Richard's just things were going so much better before we found the dog and the weird guy with the tail.
The wolf do what it wants.
Richard, I'll be honest with you. My job is to escort the supplies and the people to the town.
Oh god.
And
that
do
might
I
be a
chase
witch.
after the wolf and the halfling, Dan, or do I do what I can for the most and get you all to town. I want to help the halfling, but helping the halfling does not help y'all.
Well, I mean, I'm not rightfully responsible. I mean, I could continue down the road with my escorts here if the others wish to do their own thing, and I'll just vouch for you guys if and when you make it to town. As it's not required, nothing was paid up front, so it's entirely their choice if they wish to take whatever actions. If I have good reason to follow, I could do so.
We're gonna find a river. She
At
hollers
which
back.
point, he just sort of looks back at the other two peasants and been saying, like, we don't really know Dan that well, and it's kind of been a pain in the ass. Most of the time we were riding in the wagon, just constantly whistling, so we don't miss him all that much. We'd rather make it safely in town than head into the forest by orcs or whatever the hell ate that woman.
Then let's go to town. At least I can
It's
do
like-
is do the best with what I got.
Well, honestly, Joan, I would have to ask a favor of you.
Oh?
As Chuck kind of like pokes Richard in the side and gives him sort of like a nod. For the benefit of our mutual acquaintance, I would have to ask, since he did arrange for transportation for all individuals, and it would stain his reputation if not, certain individuals went missing, as they probably have family in town. I would ask that you see to Dan's safe return. Despite other individuals' opinions on the matter, would definitely go well for me and probably for you. So
What
if you
do I
don't
do about the
mind,
wolf? He's not going to stop.
keep an eye on Dan, and also, if you could also do me a favor, keep an eye on my acquaintances, which have traveled with me for 10 days up to this point, because I would feel good if I could honestly pay them back for what escorts and assistance they've provided me for the last 10 days. I'd hate for them just to disappear or wander off, and then you never know if I need to vouch for them to come into town, if they're dead or not. And you seem to be a survivor.
Yep, and dedicated to the job I do. Oh,
I would say as long as you keep to the main road, you should be safe. Although, I suppose you could always follow the river. The map does show it leads right into town, which is a known travel route. Maybe you could hop a ride on a barge or something. Although I don't really trust the cloudy weather that's rolling in, but you're not that far from town. A day, there should be patrols and such, make it a little bit further. At which point he'll just sort of shake your hand, wish you the best of luck. May Farlonan guide your path, and take off.
Am I
Chuck
safe
will just
to-
sort of give you a nod and load his crossbow and just sort of wink at you and head off.
And I'll tell him when he said, "May Farlone guide you, may Saint Cuthbert look favorably upon you."
Two elves will just remark in Elven to each other as they walk by, as they've remained silent this whole time, and just basically remark, "That woman's screwed." In Elven.
Out of character, they are completely correct. If I knew Elvin, I would respond with, "You are correct."
Do you speak
So-
Elven?
No, I do not. That's why if I knew, I would say something. I don't.
I think the reason why they said that is because they were traveling with a crazy alchemist explosion woman and a dark magic magician.
Who basically just abandoned their job.
I was
Okay.
not hired as bodyguard. I was hired to be talking of.
You were hired as an escort.
I wasn't hired. I just
You
tagged
weren't.
along.
Those two were.
Yeah, I was gonna say the druids definitely were not.
I am loyal mostly to Al.
Yeah, but here's the problem. Orkazik ran off in a different direction than the rest of the group.
No, he didn't. He followed. He went off.
You
He
just
Yeah,
said you
there's
ran
seven.
into the woods, dude.
I went off. Yeah, the way they were headed.
Oh,
He would
okay.
follow Seven, of course. He's not going to separate from his companion.
Nope.
Well, he might, because he could probably find Seven easily.
Yeah, but the connection between them hasn't been explained in game yet.
No, but in Jones'
He
mind,
wouldn't
that
let
is
her-
something you would do, though.
He wouldn't
Just to
let
screw
Seven
with people.
out of character. He's not letting Seven get too far out of his sight.
So,
I'm gonna try to
NPC
follow after him, try to get Dan back now. I really don't give a shit about everybody else. Richard's taking the other people into town. That's covered. She just has to get Dan back to finish the job.
So he'll pretty much have someone wait at the door to pretty much pay your dues to get in and pretty much explain matters to the other merchant, which is your employer. But he can't really tarry too much longer because events are underway at town, and
Exactly.
pretty much he's got to ensure these people's safety, but then he kind of owes the other people for everything they've done. So he feels kind of bad to rely on you, but maybe it'll be worth it in the end.
Hopefully.
Compensation. We'll see.
I want to get the halfling to ride me.
At
There's
which
no
point
way in
you
hell that's gonna happen.
guys will deviate for 3 hours into the forested area as you pretty much hear the sound of rushing water. Unfortunately for you all, at the same time, the weather turns for the worst. And it starts downpouring sideways as the trees are swaying heavily.
Well, you got your shower.
You do happen to be in a forested area and not too far from the river. It may be another hour ahead of you, but it is starting to get dark just because the sun is being obscured.
Hey, Adam, or Michael, that's a check for any local cave systems.
Good, because I was about to call for a spot or knowledge geography or nature.
I'll do that again.
Knowledge nature, considering the river system coming up rather large, and considering the somewhat healing nature of this, there has to be possibly a bear cave or other form of shelter, maybe a cliff facing that you could set under. to
Oh,
get some
I
kind
know
of cover.
shit.
7, geography, you know that there is quite a few hilly areas and that there is a network of caves not too far away, so you could possibly make it there if you can see your way clearly enough. And it is getting dark quick, not only because it is now about 4 in the evening, but also because the heavy rain is obscuring your vision and blocking out the sun. So it is almost night.
And
So-
Joan is trying to follow Orkazik, but since he bolted off and fucking left her,
Luckily, he can't go faster than the party can, and the party as a whole can only move like 30.
So,
He catches up to
yeah,
them
but my
quickly.
movement speed is 20.
So you're about probably 40 feet behind the party, which makes it difficult vision-wise to keep up.
but
Trying as best I can.
Yeah, my knowledge is just, yep, that's a river, that's a forest. That's all I know.
I made my
hear
rolls,
rain,
Michael, and I
those are
rolled
trees.
not that good.
Making a survival check, Michael?
For what purpose?
Well, he knows the woods. I figure I'll tack that in there.
Ah, okay. As an additional bonus to your check. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Between 7 and Orkazik, you do know that there is a nearby cave which you could take shelter in and not be soggy wet. Not to mention, it's only going to get darker later, more dangerous, and you can't see crap.
He kind of barks through his shirted filled mouth to, yeah, that kind of noise. Enough that 7 would know it. He's trying to get her attention.
7 would just growl at him in acknowledgement, and with Orkazik's help, they lead the party towards the cave they know of.
Does the party follow?
yeah, since they know the
Yep.
woods a lot better.
All right. Adam, I need a spot check and survival check from you to pretty much keep up and keep them in sight during the flashes of lightning and the blowing of trees to pretty much spot them. Otherwise, you may lose them in the brush and you may wind up somewhere else.
Once he's in the cave, Orkazik would stick his head out and howl very loudly.
Spot is fair. You're kind of losing them due to all the bad conditions, but your survival is pretty much keeping you on a path that people could travel in a large group, which they are, so you are able to keep them in sight. You do not lose them, and just when you do finally lose sight of them as they duck into the cave after a brush, You do hear the wolf, and you do see the wolf drenching wet. At which point, you also duck into the cave to notice everybody else there, sogging wet and a little tired after a nice little 3-hour walk in that heavy downpour.
Gonna check on Dan. How's he doing?
He is shivering cold as he doesn't really have much of a shirt.
I literally handed him some of my wardrobe. It was
It
for
won't
him, but I
fit.
handed him one of my jackets.
It's basically a dress on him, and yet again, it's in the wolf's mount, and it is super soaking wet. So,
I'm
yes.
cold, and there were wolves after me.
Pretty much.
Well,
Rather,
here's the thing. At this point, he shakes off real heavy amounts of water, and then kind of right there at the edge of the cave, and then trots inside, looking all proud of himself and shit.
These are the moments when I wish I had goddamn alcohol.
22 and 7, they're gonna shake off their pelts and then go over against the cave wall and cuddle up together.
So at this point, Orkazik kind of shifts form, cracks his neck, and goes, "So do you guys need me to help you build a fire or not? But you're gonna want one."
yes, that would be appreciated.
I just wonder why y'all decided to wander off into the woods when a storm was about to hit.
Well, that guy wanted a river, so Seven did what she does best, and he found water.
And yes, money is a good thing. However, the majority of what I've been through is connected to Al, and if he goes, I go.
You also realize your only way into that town was Richard.
All right, map jump.
I'm not gonna be allowed in town when it's smelling like this.
Snow.
You guys see the new map?
Yep.
Okay. Basically, black border up at the front is your entrance into the cave, and this is your cave outline. And little black squares, of course, are large rocks and stuff. Which you
The
can't occupy that
the
square.
fire starter thingies. What were they called again?
Tender
Tender
twigs.
twigs.
Thank you.
The difficulty part is getting wood that is dry.
You got a torch.
Use the 3 torches, which are in your bag and only slightly soaking wet, to pretty much start a fire. Yeah.
That's exactly what I do.
So you will sacrifice the 3 torches and set up a fire right about there, maybe?
Yes.
All right.
I'll break up the javelin I've got and toss it onto the fire as well.
All right. You got kindling, heavy wood, light wood, stuff that's very flammable and burn quickly. You can probably get some small brush from outside and let it slowly dry off and add it to it.
And then Orkazik shifts back into his wolf form and literally picks up Dan, sets him down by the fire, and then curls up around him.
Aw.
I can't tell if he likes you or he's messing with you. Either way, just focus on warming up. Forget about the wolf for now.
I would rather be home.
So
Town is but a day and a half away. Bear with it till then.
He starts kind of sniffing Dan's neck.
So she'll go into her bag and pull out her scholar outfit and head on further away, hopefully out of sight of everybody. And
On the other side of that large rock there, to where it
Yes.
can't be seen.
yeah,
No peeky.
yeah, and she'll
Yeah.
take off her clothes and put on a nice scholarly outfit.
Hold
Lightning
on.
Dryer.
Wow, fucking Jezebel is all going back behind the thing. Seven would have gotten up and tried to go over and see what she was doing. So that way, theoretically, by the time she was half undressed, he'd be there.
Technically, the dog. So would you even care?
Not really. I mean,
Yeah.
She wouldn't have been there for when the dog popped out of dog form.
Yep.
She was a little
Yeah.
distracted by other shit next to her.
Yeah. Takuma would at this point also take off his robe. He only wears his what are those pants called? The pants, not the pants thing.
pantaloons.
No, like
Close.
okay. He's
The
only wears
Japanese
his
version
pants,
of
but you can tell
pantaloons.
pantaloons, like
The cloth wrap.
yeah,
Whatever.
the cloth pants thing. But yeah, he's only standing there shirtless while he's just sitting there by the fire.
Suddenly, our Kazakh starts kind of like licking Dan.
I poked the wolf. Behave. Rest.
You just look like I am resting.
As Joan
Just
at this
let the-
point starts taking her armor off.
Just as you said, let the wolf do what it wants. It's not causing any harm to the halfling. It seems to like him. It's just likes it in its own manner.
In a slightly sadistic manner?
It's where I come from, it's the normal manner. He shrugs.
Remind me to never visit your homeland then.
He kind of stands up, walks over to Alanon, and gives him a look like, "Are you cold?"
You're cold. Steps out to the fire.
Are you sitting down?
No.
He's too high and mighty to sit on the ground.
Warlocks don't sit on the floor.
They sit on the wolf?
He waits until he's got his back to him, and then he piddles on his leg.
I'm staring right at you.
I know. I said I wait till you turn your back on me.
Why would I? I'm not doing that.
So that would be what she would wind up wearing.
Eh?
Ooh.
Fancy.
Not too fancy. Scholar wear.
For an adventurer? Fancy.
Seven just goes back and goes over to the fucking campfire to get warm. Where would he fucking go? He'd go somewhere.
I'm just kind of confused on why would it.
Right there.
Once he piddles on Alanon, he goes back and licks the halfling again.
Jezebel would sit down and start taking some more notes.
That point, Falcon just watches her, but secretly he's trying to read what she's fucking writing.
What are you writing in there? He asks Jezebel.
Just notes of the occasions. She would be writing in Draconic.
He looks over. By the way, he actually can read Draconic.
And she will, take it back and is just my stuff.
Your secret notes are not so secret.
Mine.
Secret notes are not so secret.
And then she writes down a Novish. Human keeps trying to look at notebook. Do not do that.
By the way, you do realize he's not wearing his shirt at this moment.
It does not change the fact that she is this is my thing. Leave me alone.
This is mine, this is not yours.
My
Bugger off.
thing.
Fine. I know, I get it. This is your notebook. There are others like it, but this is yours.
There are many like it, but this one is mine.
As he continues to lick the halfling, his teeth graze the halfling's flesh.
Poke him at that point again. Not the halfling, I poke the wolf.
Slides over further to the fire.
Seven just goes back the way with 42.
42's been sniffing the ground a lot and digging.
So, Seven's gonna look at what he's digging at and see what he's up to.
You see somewhat disturbed grounds, as if it was somewhat freshly dug. not like the rest of the cave floor.
So-
Orkazik walks behind the halfling, piddles on his back, and then wanders off to 7.
What he's gonna do is he's gonna go over here and help one to dig.
Can't take it.
Isabel will like step away from the guys that smell like piss. and
Did he
head.
just go outside?
He did.
Going after him.
Which point you see the rain is calming down and starting to break. First sets of sunshine start to shine through in the late evening. It's at that time the halfling turns, looks at you, goes, I just can't take it as he's taking off the shirt. Everything smells, everything's horrible. Belong in a city, this is just terrible. I just hate every... At which point he stops for a moment, talking, just forgets this weird look on his face as he looks at you. Something hurts. Which point he falls over as there's a javelin in his back.
Oh, fuck!
I yell out, enemy raid! I'm gonna rush over, grab him, and drag him inside.
Which point it will be... It's actually late, so I think we'll stop right there to where you will be moving toward him to grab him while 42 is digging.
That's
As
fucking
the storm
cool.
breaks, but you are actually in one of their little
Something
raiding
hurts.
dens.
Something hurts.
Well, my problem is she just took off her armor because she thought the storm would last longer.
Yep.
So she's AC 11 right now.
I'll talk to you guys later tonight. Later.
Are you putting that there for a next week's little thingy?